Hey, is it working? It's working.
If it's working, it's a jerkin.
Hi there, YouTube friends.
There they are. Yep.
Welcome to the Brohio Podcast live stream.
Hi.
How you doing, Robert?
Extra creamy.
I like my Rob Dog just like I like my corn. Creamed.
Coming out of my ass and my shit.
I sent you that picture the other night. I had hominy for dinner.
Yeah, you did.
It was pretty good, man.
Was it?
It was a lot better than I remember.
What's it taste like?
You haven't had it?
I don't think so.
I think I remember you saying, "What the fuck is hominy?" Especially.
Yeah. I know I've seen it before. I might have had it whenever I was really little, but I don't remember.
It's just a giant puffy corn kernel. I don't know. It's
Okay, yeah.
It's like if a marshmallow and a corn kernel made a baby.
Yeah, I could never tell by looking at it if it was a corn or a bean.
I don't know what it is. My daughter had to look it up. She said, "Man, what the fuck is he eating?" These kids worry about me.
It's such a stupid name, hominy.
I can take care of myself.
Yeah.
Know? Until I'm old, I'm shitting on myself.
I'm almost there.
I'm shitting on myself right now.
Yeah, give me a couple more days.
No, like right now I'm doing
Oh,
it.
okay. Hell yeah.
I'm
Multitasking.
Okay. Yep. Some of you may be wondering about the cup in front of me.
Yeah, I was.
I brought this downstairs with me to drink water out of it. I started drinking water out of it earlier. My wife almost killed me. My wife has a tremendous Starbucks cup collection.
Yeah.
It's crippling.
Yeah.
She's addicted. She's addicted to two things: Starbucks cups and my dick.
I knew that was coming.
She just doesn't know she's addicted to my penis yet.
Sure.
But
Naturally.
she is addicted to Starbucks cups. She knows this. And she got up at about 5:45 this morning and went and waited in line at Starbucks for this to come out on the shelf.
That's crazy.
Morning. And she came back, and I'm thinking, like, I wonder how many people were there. And I said, "How many people were there?" And she said, "I was the only one."
So you could have slept in a little bit.
Good thing you got there at 6 a.m. It's this big, beautiful orange cup, man. It's really nice looking.
It's really tall. I mean, it's almost the same height as our bourbon bottles.
Holds a lot of water. Dude, these things are... I had to build a special shelf in the kitchen just for these Starbucks cups. But, she's done a lot for me over the years, so the least I can do is build her a shelf.
For some cups.
Yeah.
Sweet, man.
Yeah, it's really good. People like to hang out in our kitchen,
Yeah.
and they're just like, "Look at all these fucking beautiful cups."
Right.
And we get to tell them about all of, we get to tell them about all the cups and how we've invested $70,000 in Starbucks cups.
And just show your girls their empire.
Yeah.
As they walk through the kitchen every day.
When we die,
we will pass down the cups.
this will all be yours. Everything the light touches is our kingdom.
That's great.
Yeah. I feel like we haven't done a podcast in a while,
Yeah.
but
I mean, it's been just a week.
I think it's because the season changed. Since
Yeah, man. It's like a whole new world.
It is, man. I had to put the air conditioner in the window, which I can't even begin to explain how fucking hot it used to get down here.
Yeah, it's bad.
Not only in the other room, but even in here. It got hotter in here because that computer is cooking.
Right.
It's cooking meth. And it would just get so fucking hot. And did you end up getting one of those for your house?
No, we got her brother actually had one laying around,
Okay.
so we got one for him. I was going to get that one, but...
Isn't that thing just like purrs like a kitten?
Yeah, man.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's really nice.
It really is. But it changes. I used to get upset and mad thinking about making the show with you sometimes because it was going to be so hot.
Because you're going to be miserable.
It was going to be so hot. It was going to be sweating, and we
Yeah.
just have to fight it. But it just completely changes the way I feel about this whole entire project.
Yeah, man, especially with as quiet as it is, and that fucker puts out some air.
Works. It's not even... I got it set on 68. It goes to 69. Yeah.
Giggity.
I'm going to go...
The one in my room set to 60, and I had to leave it
yeah, that's what we do in our room, man.
constantly, dude. I got the colder the better. I like ice cubes forming from my taint.
Yeah, I like my wiener to be crunchy when I roll out of bed.
Yeah.
I like it to be really cold.
Frozen draws.
Feels good. All right. Hello, everybody listening on the stream. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Hey, guys.
lots of familiar faces, even some new ones. We're thankful for all of you, as long as you don't listen to Drowning Pool. If you listen to the Drowning Pool and you let the bodies hit the floor, we don't want to be friends with you.
Nope.
Or if you got puffy nipples. All right, Rob, you ready to get this thing started?
Let's fucking roll that beautiful bean footage.
Johnny Hold on a second. I gotta. Actually, there was.
Yeah, that's a good.
There was a little audio snippet that I need to sneak in the front of this.
Okay.
A woman respects.
Okay. When a woman loves dick.
YouTube MP3 is the best, or Wave.
Well, I got to do Wave because it won't. God, motherfuckers.
Well, Wave files are less compressed, so they're better audio quality, anyways.
Yeah, but when I download them to make them MP3s, they're not going over to Reaper the right way for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Kind of weird. These sons of bitches, they just try and give you a virus, and I'm not falling for it.
No,
so
man.
I'm not even going to fall for it. Is that it? Drop that down there. Drop that right there.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Okay. Ready.
Yeah. Nope.
Ha ha ha! I'm just kidding.
Unarm that track. There we go.
A woman respects what you do, what you represent, and how you speak, how you carry yourself. You don't have to be overly macho. You don't have to be over complimentary. Gain her respect, and that's treating her as an equal. Don't bullshit her. Treat her as a human being. Treat her as you would treat yourself. As soon as you have that respect from her, she'll treat you with the same respect that you show. Then you fuck the shit out of her.
Hey, friends, welcome back to the Cream Spot. I'm one half of the Brohio podcast. I'm the delicious Nickalicious.
Then you fuck the shit out of her. I'm Rob Dog. Hey, guys.
You heard it straight from the horse's dick right there. You heard it straight from the horse's mouth right there. Johnny Holmes, or Johnny Estes as his birth name, but that was our topic of the episode. Old John Holmes. If you don't know anything about him,
Whew. Huge wiener. That's all you need to know.
look it up. Look it up. He was in the Bible, actually.
He's the white counterpart to Brickzilla.
He might be bigger than Brick. I don't know, man. Brick is pretty scary.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, a lot of people don't realize that there is one of the coolest true crime stories. This John Holmes guy, while what he was saying, that little snippet right there, might have been a little bit romantic. He is legitimately one of the worst fucking humans that I've ever researched for this podcast. One of the absolute worst. Huge dick. I mean, one of the biggest ones I've ever seen.
Yeah, that thing was alarmingly big.
I couldn't take it. I don't know, honestly. I've never personally taken one, but I do know if that was the first one, I would be like, listen, we gotta see other people.
Yeah,
I gotta find something a lot smaller than that.
right. Ooh, I think scary. It has its own zip code.
I think if I could, live anywhere in any fantasy world, I would want to make love to myself. Just because I know that I could, if I was ashamed, it's just myself.
Okay.
If it's sad, the perfect world, I'm just putting it down real hard on my wife. But if I got to do something weird with a guy, I think I'd want to just do it with myself.
If you fuck yourself, is it considered masturbation, or is it gay sex with yourself?
Self-love.
Self-love, yeah.
I don't know.
Makes sense.
That's why we got to get this time travel thing figured out.
Right.
Because I don't want the version of me now. There was a point in my life where I was kind of trim, lifting weights and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I want to slap him around a little bit. Choke him.
Right.
You know, take a barbell and put it over his neck. Do bad stuff to him.
Just total alpha.
Yeah. And we're so thankful for you guys to be here. We're 5 days away from the 5-year anniversary of the first episode of the Brohio podcast. Hopefully I'll work on something tomorrow or the next day to get you guys a platform where you can send us some audio messages.
Oh, yeah, that's fun.
And then we can play those on the 5-year anniversary. There's a lot of stuff out there. But everything's fucking subscription-based.
Sure.
We have so many subscriptions for this podcast that it's hard to keep track of.
Yeah,
Every
that's true.
single thing we use has a subscription fee to it. I'm tired of all these subscriptions. People should pay us to use their shit.
That's true.
And if it works, we'll be like, hey, this is good stuff. And if it doesn't work, we'll be like, hey, man, fuck these guys. We probably would never do that, but, you know, it's whatever. We had an email the other day about a knife company.
Okay.
They do, like, kitchen knives.
Hell yeah.
And they were wanting to send us some knives.
I need new kitchen knives bad.
And I forgot to write them back. I need to write them back.
Yeah, do
I
that.
could definitely get us some free knives.
Do that, man.
But it was two different companies. It was a knife company and then some other really weird company. I was like, we definitely won't use that shit. But I need to
Fuck it. Sign me up for it anyways. I'll still take it.
circle back for it. Yeah, man. Let's say thank you to our new Patreon subscribers. Nick's Skidmark. Thank you, Nick Skidmark, for the Patreon pledge. I don't know if that's
My favorite.
specifically my Skidmark. My wife does, she gets a Shinesty subscription for me. It's an underwear. It's a monthly box underwear service where I get a free pair of, not a free pair, but I get a pair of boxer briefs once a month.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And they got all kinds of wild designs. Like a couple months ago, they were light blue and there was clouds all over them.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, oh, it looks like a beautiful spring sky. And you kind of look closer at my underwear, and it's a bunch of fucking chicks and dudes 69 each other in the clouds. They're in the shape of clouds. I've got aliens butt fucking each other. I've got one that's like gummy bears all over it, but then you look closer, and the gummy bears are just doing the most heinous sex acts you've ever seen in your
That's
life.
great.
And I got the one, they're all black except for the crotch. And on the crotch is like David's statue's dick. Like
That's awesome.
the uncircumcised dick with the big curlies all around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that's great.
Shinesty's cool, man. They don't have any business here, but they're
That's fun.
cool company.
Yeah, that's really fun. Next, we got Nemo. We found the fucker. Thanks, Nemo, you shit.
Oh,
He touched the butt.
he didn't touch the butt. Ben Chilton, Benjamin, thanks, buddy, for the Patreon pledge. We love you, man. Thanks for the pictures of your feet you sent.
Thank you. Shane Merritt. Thank you very much, Mr. Merritt. Appreciate it.
Lexi Smith. Lexi, as in Lex Luger, the torture rack. WCW. Lexi Smith, thanks for the Patreon pledge.
I'm probably going to get this one wrong here. Gilizondo.
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 Jezebels.
Jizz.
Jism. Okay, I got a pretty weird Patreon. No, this
Article.
I got a weird article for you.
Farticle.
This is from Thai Inquirer. Leader of feces eating cult arrested after 11 dead bodies discovered during raid.
Oh, man.
Thai police raided the compound of a suspected cult leader in Chayapham province on Sunday, discovering at least 11 bodies during the search. Local authorities were able to raid the compound after the group allegedly violated land encroachment laws and broke COVID-19 restriction laws. Oops. Law enforcement had already been aware of the group after allegations were shared that the community had been consuming the bodily fluids of its leader. After police made their way onto the campgrounds, police then discovered the remains of 11 bodies in coffins. Well, that's where they fucking go, so what are they doing wrong?
If consuming the bodily function of my leader is wrong, I do not want to be right.
You're right. Yeah. Give me the cover that sauce. However, the group was only able to provide death certificates belonging to 5 of the 11 of the deceased. Police have ordered autopsies to be conducted to establish the causes of death of the bodies. The suspected leader of the group has been detained for questioning, but before the arrest, many of his followers attempted to stop police from arresting the elderly man during the raid. The strange group was known in the area to conduct themselves in a religious-like manner where devotees of the father, Thalwi Nanra, 75 years old, would do almost anything for the man. Some say he would force his followers to drink his urine, eat his feces, and consume dirt in order to heal physical illnesses.
Damn.
Cult-like groups are not uncommon in Thailand. You know what the capital of Thailand is?
Nope.
Bangkok. And then you punch people in the wiener when you say that, though. You gotta,
That makes sense.
if you stand up, we can do that joke before
Okay,
you leave.
sweet.
In 2019, a rape cult on Koh Phangan was revealed where female students say they were promised spiritual practice only to be coerced into sex or rape by its founder. Last year, an elderly monk decapitated himself with a homemade device in an attempt to reincarnate as a higher being. His followers helped him build the contraption and helped him commit suicide, more widely known as the Dhammakaya group, a massively rich Buddhist sect that critics and former followers call a cult. The incident has quickly gone viral on social media with netizens sharing their disgust against the cult's practice of consuming human shit.
Lather me up in that shit, Daddy.
Are there any men in the world that you can think of offhand that you would just like, yeah, man, I'd eat his poop? I feel like I would eat Johnny Depp's poop after watching him go through what he's going through.
Yeah.
Someone owes him a fucking drink. But you know what? I don't know if he's necessarily as guilty or as innocent as people think. I think they both are shitheads.
For sure, yeah, but she definitely sucked more than he did.
But he's an actor, though, man.
Yeah.
When he goes on the stand, you can tell that he's a way better actor than she is.
But he's Johnny Depp.
She fucking
You know what I mean?
sucks, man.
Yeah, she's awful.
Have you ever seen The Gentleman? It's got Matthew McConaughey and the guy from Sons of Anarchy.
I don't think so.
It's on Netflix right now. Came out a couple years ago. It's a good fucking movie, man.
Yeah.
If anyone is looking for a cool, it's like I don't know. It's a British American marijuana grow operation
Oh, okay,
movie.
cool.
It's so much fun. It's a really fun movie, but it's on Netflix right now. Sometimes people get their recommendations from us,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I watched. Good movie.
I went and saw the new Doctor Strange last night. It was really good.
You know what I had to go watch on Mother's Day?
I enjoyed it. What?
The Bad Guys. It's a cartoon about a fucking shark. It was
Oh, yeah.
not good, but it was
It was not good.
it was good to be there for Mother's Day and spending time with the family.
Yeah.
But Doctor Strange, I've not seen it. I desire to deeply.
Mm-hmm.
I asked my brother. He said, wait for it on Disney Plus. And I said, you're a punk-ass bitch all the time, bruh. You can't find the fucking joy in anything. That guy could be jacking off with a fucking chocolate cake sitting on his face.
I figured he'd like it because he liked WandaVision so much. And
he would step out and just be like, I don't like chocolate cake. I don't know how it happened, but I left WandaVision on cliffhanger. I've had the last episode
Oh, man. It's
loaded
so
up for
fucking
probably 6 months and haven't watched it. I finally watched the
good.
end of it.
I love her.
I fucking cried at the end of it, man.
Ugh.
Got all shooken up.
I love her.
Yeah, I loved her sisters growing up. They were my
She's even better.
they were my girlfriends,
Yeah.
Ashley and Mary Kate,
Yep.
and they didn't know it, but we were all girlfriends.
Right.
I was their girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah, she looks a lot like them.
She does. Yeah.
And I only picture them so young, so it's kind of weird for me. I only like anytime I see that face, I think of Michelle Tanner, just a little girl, and it fucking creeps me out. No, you know, I don't mean any disrespect to you at all.
No, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, she's of age, so it's all right.
Vision, though, I'd give that thing a spin.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what the fuck he's packing, but I'd definitely take that for a
He's
spin.
like fucking like maroon and purple. I'd lick all over that face.
I'd have that fucking makeup running in no time. So real quick, before we go any further, I had to go to the grocery store again, the same grocery store where I had the interaction with Terza
Oh, yeah.
and Merle.
Yeah.
I don't need no Mountain Dew. I don't remember what episode that is, but go back, I think Project High Jump was that one.
Probably.
But go back and listen to that if you want to hear the story about Merle and Terza. But the same grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
I roll up in that motherfucker in the
Yeah.
morning, get the wife some coffee for Mother's Day. The flower aisle was fucking lit, man. There's guys running around, don't even like their moms, but up there buying them flowers and shit.
Right.
And then some dude, and the flowers are right by the front door, and so is a little Starbucks booth.
Mm-hmm.
Some old guy, not old, probably 60, got a taller, super clean cut, like he just got out of the shower, slicked his hair straight back, put on his fucking crispiest jeans, his New Balances, and just looked squared away. I mean, just like he was probably in a very good attorney just taking on a Sunday, whatever. But he comes running in to Kroger like he's being chased by somebody. He's like, he's looking around, and I'm thinking, oh, fuck, man, we're all about to get shot the fuck up. I was scared for my life. So I start to dip behind the Funyuns and shit, and he's looking around like, and he just like takes off through the store, kind of away from me, and I don't know where the fuck he was going, but I think to myself, that guy's got some shit that he's going through.
Oh, yeah.
I'm never running from, I don't run. You can take one look at me. I don't run, but this guy was running. He was scared of something.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought there might have been a velociraptor in the parking lot. Maybe he pissed on somebody's car and they're going to beat his ass. I don't know.
Been there.
And so I just keep on doing my business. And then finally I had to pick up a couple things. I had to check out with a couple things. I don't remember what they were, but I went over to the self-checkout. And when I walk up to the self-checkout, I hear footsteps behind me. And I look over my shoulder. This dude like fucking crashes into the Mountain Dew.
Oh, damn it.
The Mountain Dew cooler.
Okay.
It's got all the flaming hot the flaming hot Cheeto Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
And I was getting myself a sugar-free Red Bull. That's what I was getting.
Look at you.
And he crashes into the Mountain Dew thing. And he opens up the door on it, and he reaches in, and he grabs a Diet Dew, which if I'm drinking soda, man, Diet Dew is one of my go-tos.
Yeah, Diet Dew hits, man.
I like Diet Dew. It doesn't taste anything like Mountain Dew, but it's got a good flavor to it.
Yeah.
And this guy's, and he grabs a Diet Mountain Dew, and doesn't even pay for it. He pops it, and he just starts chucking. He starts chucking this Diet Mountain Dew, and I'm just like, hell yeah, brother, because he's getting after this Mountain Dew.
Yeah, we call those courtesy sodas.
He's like a 4-year-old sucking on fucking Kool-Aid.
Yeah,
he's gurgling it, and then he finally gets done. He crushes like 2/3 of the bottle, and he just goes, and then he walks over to self-checkout. He pays for it. And then he walks out like nothing was ever wrong.
What the fuck?
I don't know, man. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I was waiting for like the cameras to pop up, be like, do you mind if we use can we use this on YouTube? Sign a waiver or something. This guy's just running around,
Just sprinting through the store.
like he never he never knew, he never bought a fucking Diet Dew at Kroger before. He didn't know where to go, but he smashed into the refrigerator holding all the shit.
At least he quenched his thirst with the fucking nectar of the gods.
That dude definitely fucked.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
He was on it. And dude,
Do you think he would have had enough time to that he could have just been running to the bathroom to shit real quick and then and then maybe he just worked up a sweat from running and he had to get something to drink?
I've spent the better part of probably 18 hours
trying to think what could have been.
trying to think what the fuck that guy was going through.
Yeah.
And I just cannot figure it out for the life of me.
Man.
He was going through some shit though.
Well, if that's you and you listen to the show, send us an email.
Yeah, sure, man.
podcast@gmail.com. Let us know why you were running.
He was just like I was waiting for some Mortal Kombat shit to pop off, man.
Yeah. I think you should just work there, man. Every time you go there, you always get something fun.
No, one of the dudes that works there, he listened to the show. I met him that one time. He's a big fan.
Mm-hmm.
But the best part was, I was like, oh, what the fuck, man?
It's weird.
I paid for my Red Bull and I walked out. The guy just walked next to me, smiling, just like, He was smiling, holding up this Mountain Dew.
That was me.
Taking little sips. He just like smiling and like, all for the dew.
Man.
Do it for the dew.
And you got to do the do.
What was he doing? I don't know.
It's doing it for the do.
It bothers me, though. Maybe he had
It's going to keep you up at night, man.
I don't fucking care anymore. I got it off my chest. That's a good thing about this podcast. We can document our lives, so 30 years from now, we can look. We won't live that long, but in 10 years from now, we can look back on this when we both have diabetes, not just me, and we can say, that was a funny thing. That was a funny thing.
Weird, but funny.
That was fun. What was that silly rotten booger doing for that Diet Mountain Dew?
We still won't know the answer by then either.
Yeah. If you have a huge cock, send us an email, brohiopodcast@gmail.com. This episode is about one of the biggest cocks of all time.
Speaking of huge cock, is it still in your trunk?
Jonathan, yeah, we can go back out there. We can go out there after this and pop it. Old Girth is just laying there, all girthy.
Probably melting, man. You got to get him out.
I don't know. I bought some Suavecito hair clay, and I left that in my car.
Ooh.
It definitely melted.
Yeah, it will.
And I got in my car, and I was like, motherfucker, God damn it.
Stuff's expensive, too.
Piece of shit. Yeah, it'd melt.
Yeah, that shit smells so fucking good, though.
It does.
Is it the yellow, or is it the brown one?
It's the pinkish brown clay.
Okay. Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, dude, it smells
That's
good.
the shit, man.
Now, we're talking about John Estes, and some of you are probably saying to yourself, who the hexies is John Estes? Well, John Estes.
John Testes.
Yeah, John Testes. I was not taken aback by the size of this man's balls, so John Testes would not be fitting.
Underwhelming dick-to-ball ratio.
But Jonathan Holmes was what he would later, what he would have his name changed to later in life, a.k.a. Johnny Wad. Now, John Holmes was actually born right here in the great state of Ohio, because all of the powers of the world, they're all born here.
Mm-hmm.
Me, you,
that's all that matters.
Jeffrey Dahmer, Johnny Holmes, all the stud muffins are born here.
For sure. We know how to grow them.
What if in some alternate universe, Jeffrey Dahmer and John Holmes met? What do you think would happen in that square off?
I don't know if Jeffrey Dahmer could eat his dick. It's too big.
Dahmer's like, I'm not that hungry, but
yeah, definitely couldn't nom on that Peter. Thing's way too big.
Have you ever nommed on a Peter before? Not today, anyways.
I've done a lot of things for money.
Now, Johnny Holmes was born in Asheville, Ohio, which is only about an hour and 10 minutes away from old Rob Dog and I.
Yep.
In 1944, his biological father was in an on-again, off-again relationship with John's mother. They would split up, and they were serious when they split up. They would get a fucking divorce. I think they remarried like 3 times. They remarried one another.
One divorce with them isn't enough.
Most people I know that divorce and get back together, they just get back together. They don't get married. They just get back together.
Yep.
I've known maybe 1 or 2 people that have just said, "All right, fuck it, we're gonna get married." One of our coolest teachers from middle school, she did that. They got divorced.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah,
back together.
None you're talking about.
But it's kind of it's a super weird dynamic for me. I don't think it works out. That's a tough bridge to rebuild after divorce. But if that's what it takes to find out the perfection of your love, then I commend you. I commend you for doing that. Me and my wife, we just hold each other down and just what we do is we hold each other down and then we just lick each other like a dog, like peanut butter on a dog,
Yeah.
We just, if she gets mad at me, I just lay there and she just gets to lick me until I drown or until, and it really works out for us. I think everyone should try that. And then also an experiment we did a few months back. I wanted you fellas, when you're talking nasty to your wives, to only refer to your penis as your pee-pee.
Oh, yeah.
And we've had a couple people write back saying they actually did that. Their wives didn't like it. But let's do that again. I want you guys, when you're doing the nasty talk with your wives, your female friends, I want you to talk about your wiener. I want you to call it your pee-pee.
Like, I really want you to lick my pee-pee.
I want to cram
Suckle my pee-pee.
I want to fucking cram this pee-pee inside of you. You want to do what? I want to fuck you with my pee-pee.
Open up your VV for my pee-pee.
How's my pee-pee look? You know what's not fair is like that kind of that time between a full-on boner and then a non-boner, like a soft chub.
Yeah. Semi.
A semi. Why can't it just look like that all the time when it's...
I'd be happy.
That's a really unfair thing that God did to us.
Yeah.
And I've had a really a new perspective on God this week because I've been listening to George Carlin on my drive to and from work.
Man.
I've never listened to him before.
If anybody will turn you into an atheist faster, it's George Carlin.
It is
Well, he grew up super Catholic.
It's a fucking revival listening to him.
Oh, dude, it's the best.
His he is so brilliant.
The most clever comedian and speaker.
He was so smart, so smooth and methodical, and I don't listen to comedians that much, but I've been listening to him.
Yeah, he's the best.
And dude, it's incredible his thought process. And
his way with words is,
and it's not in a lot of instances. It's like he's not even trying to be funny. It's just like it's a point. He's bringing up a point.
Yeah.
That makes up so much sense, but the way he just mad about it.
It's just the delivery. Yeah. It
is perfect.
One of the first dirty comedians. I mean, him and Richard Pryor, they were the first dirty comedians.
Richard Pryor actually has some things in common with this episode. We'll get to that.
Oh, okay, cool.
Later. Like I said, his biological father, he was kind of in and out of the house, on again, off again with his mom. His mother was actually a devout Southern Baptist, but his dad was a stumbling drunk.
My kind of guy.
And he was so much of a stumbling drunk that there are oftentimes stories about he would get so drunk that he would vomit all over the children.
Fuck. Man, I've been pretty drunk before, but I don't think I've ever puked on my kids.
Yeah, I don't. In terms of my bingo card of life, that one's not on there. You don't have to worry about me.
Yeah, I don't need to check that off my board.
You little fucking jerk.
Wow.
Oh shit, man. Get so drunk you puke on the kids.
So stupid.
What an alpha move that is.
I know, for sure.
You fucking kids make me sick. You know how I know? What a piece of shit.
Oh, man.
With a note from his mother, though, John Holmes would actually go on to join the Army at 15 years old.
What?
You could do that.
You could do that?
Yeah, I mean, he was born in 1944, so it would have been about 1960 that he was joining the military. But he spent 3 years in the service, mostly in Germany in the Signal Corps. And I looked up the Signal Corps, and it's exactly what you think it is. They make fucking just like correspondences, writing shit. It's the people in the military that you just got to keep away from. On your kid's little league team, they always put the shitty kid in right field.
Yeah.
In the Army, you take all the shitty people and you put them in the Signal Corps.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of what's going on there.
I'm sure we'll get an email about that one.
Yeah, I've done 23 years in the Signal Corps. I've got a fucking 5-finger death punch sticker on my truck, on my Toyota Tundra.
We are very highly trained officials.
I was born on a military base in Japan, you fucking fruitcakes. I'm going to beat the shit out of your podcast. You think if people could beat our podcast up, they would?
Sure.
I found some lonely fucking bitch on some website. It's a website that no one's even ever heard of.
Okay.
But it's like you can review the Ohio podcast. And she went through and reviewed every episode of just all 290 whatever.
Damn.
And most of them were unfavorable.
Sure.
But I give her kudos because she soldiered through the entire back
dedication.
catalog. She's like, this episode, the one guy kept on acting like he was raping his grandma, and I didn't like it.
I bet that wasn't me.
Oh, God. Rat dog.
Well, good for her for being for sticking with it.
Yeah, man.
Hopefully she does this one too.
Stupid bitch. She didn't say anything nice about it. She said this one was kind of funny, but they're still on my nerves.
Good.
She would not make it at one of our live shows.
No.
We'd pick up that giant 60-pounder, just throw it at her.
Yes, 60 pounds can move pretty quick
Her
too.
boyfriend probably got the puffiest nipples. No, that's cool, man. I appreciate someone,
No, that's cool.
Whether-
That's
good or bad, man. I appreciate somebody investing that much time in us.
yeah. Because guess what? You still gave us your ad revenue.
Well,
Thanks.
that, but man, it's just people invest in us, which
No, that's cool. I
I'm
appreciate
humbled
it.
by that.
Yeah, for sure.
Every week, people give us like an hour of their time.
Which is wild, man.
That's sweet shit, man.
Yeah, we don't even give each other that much. I mean,
No, we don't.
we're
We
just
only
here.
need about 2 minutes for each
Yeah,
other.
that's it.
All said and done. He was dishonorably. I'm sorry. He was.
Nope.
I very much take that.
Yeah,
back. He was honorably
There you go.
discharged in 1963 from the U.S. Army. Johnny Holmes went on to move to Los Angeles.
the city of angels.
City. What song I was about to sing?
I don't know.
What song was I about to
I
sing?
don't know. You're about to sing Lion King just there, though.
Sometimes I feel
There you go.
like I don't have a partner. Sometimes I feel like my only friend. You like Red Hot Chili Peppers?
I used to back in the day.
What the fuck's changed now, Rob? What's different now than to now? Why don't you like them now?
Because they're all old and sober.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, they got John Frusciante back, the guitar player.
Yeah.
And he's never going to be sober in his entire life, no matter what he does. Good stuff, though. They're coming out with new music. They sound Irish. I think
Just-
I'd let
yeah,
you.
I heard that.
I'll let you hear it.
Yeah, just not my vibe, but I dig their old stuff.
So Johnny Holmes, he moved to L.A. after leaving the military, where he bounced around a bunch of different jobs. I think I was reading that he was selling Tupperware door to door and
Oh,
magazines.
hell yeah.
At one point, he was selling bushes door to door.
Fuck yeah.
But that could mean a lot of different things in the late in the 1960s. Was
Yeah,
he
man.
selling women's pubic hair, or was he selling like an actual bush?
I'm going for pubic hair.
Yeah, he was selling pubic hair door to door.
There's plenty of pubic hair to go around in the 70s and 60s.
If you've ever sold pubic hair door to door, send us an email, brohiopodcast@gmail.com. And thank you to the person that sent us a jar of pubic hair to our P.O. box.
Yes, somebody just actually in the YouTube stream,
I got to go up there.
they said, did you guys get the lock of hair? And I said, for real?
I got to go up there. We have something in there. I got to go up there and check
I
it.
think that was, let's see here. Let me go back to the Jaden. Thanks, Jaden, for the hair. We haven't picked it up yet, but we will here soon,
Oh.
and we will stick it to our wall back here.
John, not only was he selling bushes door to door and Tupperware and Dicks and whatever else people sell door to door, he just had a lot of different jobs. He was bouncing in between them, wasn't really sticking. Then he had a job as an ambulance driver, and that's where he met Sharon Gibonini in December of 1964, which would go on to be she would go on to become his wife.
That's a fun last name.
They married. Yeah, she took his last name. though.
Gibonini.
Gibonini. I would definitely take her last name.
For sure.
Start up an Italian restaurant, pizza, pasta. I fucking love pizza so much.
Me too.
I've been on a diet for 2 days. 1.5. I've been on a diet today. I haven't had pizza, but God, I love pizza so much.
Love pizza. Yeah.
Pizza is like, I don't know,
You know, I love almost as much.
dick.
Dick for sure. Sushi.
Oh man, I love sushi
Fucking
so much.
love sushi.
I love sushi.
God.
I'm so afraid of the balance of sushi because, you know, you can go to like a China buffet around here. You can get all you can eat sushi.
Yeah.
But I feel like every time you take a piece of sushi, you're really taking your life into your own hands because it could be the one that does you in.
Yeah, you for sure don't get the gas station sushi. That's a big no-no.
I've got it before, not very good.
It's always like super dry and just you don't know if it's probably like raccoon.
Pigeon.
Yeah.
Someone brings you a container of sushi, just know that one of those motherfuckers is a grenade.
It very well could be.
One of them is going to put you on your ass. But you're right. I love sushi.
Fucking love sushi.
Pizza. What about sushi pizza? Nope, that doesn't work.
I don't know, yeah. Never had it.
Doesn't work.
It could work.
Could. No, he married Sharon Gibonini in August of 1965, and they were fucking hippies. She was a really big hippie.
Okay.
But they were very.
Huge bushes.
More so her than him
Okay.
was the hippie vibe.
Gotcha.
He got a job at a meat packing plant.
Yeah, he did.
How ironic. He's a gay factory worker from the South. He'll take what you pee out of and put it in his mouth. And in the meat packing plant, he was going in the cold, back out in the cold. He got some type of lung fucking.
That was so stupid.
Little Rodney Carrington. He's good. He had some problems with his lungs from going in the cold meat packing plant. Personally, I'm a fudge packer.
You ever pack meat?
Yeah, dude. No, not really.
Oh, man.
I know a guy though.
We all know a guy.
Yeah. Now he would the going in the cold and then going back out in the desert air, it created a lot of problems with his lungs, and the dude could barely fucking breathe. He was just getting I think it was, I can't remember the name, but he would just get pockets of air around his lungs, and he couldn't breathe. But he just kept on driving forklifts and packing meat. That was his thing, man. He was a forklift driver. But one evening, his luck would start to change. While hanging out at a poker parlor in Gardena, California, he went to the bathroom to take a big old pee-pee. Now, while in the bathroom, I think he was Joel. Joel was taken aback by the sheer size of John's dick.
He was a fucking meat gazer. Excuse me, sir. I was just sitting in the other urinal, and I couldn't help but see the big dick you got between your legs.
I couldn't help but notice.
Did you grow that yourself?
That's a big old sausage. I remember we used to go to we went to this is when I was little, we went to the county fair. I can't remember where it was. But there was I think it might have been the state fair, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And we went to the bathroom. My dad took me and my little brother, and we walk in there, and there's a piss trough. And it was like face to face. This is the weirdest thing, thinking back to this. It was a face-to-face piss trough. It was like a big round circle in the middle of the room.
Ooh, weird.
And everybody pissed in this bucket, but everyone's dicks faced each other.
Oh, that's fucking weird. That's really weird.
And my dad just like walked right up to it and flopped it out and was like, start. And, I'm just a little porky kid. I'm thinking like, man, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do here. And and the thing was, my dad really let me down because he didn't give me any guidance. He just walked up and started pissing. He must have had to go really bad. Probably drank a big old pot of coffee that morning. Just had to go. Didn't care what I did. And I said, all right, I just follow suit. And I remember there was this old man straight ahead of me, and all I could see was white and gray fuzz. I couldn't even see his dick. There was just white and gray fuzz. But I walked up, and I was only tall enough to get my dick to lay on top of the metal trough.
On the lip. Yeah.
Yeah. And I just lay my little dick on the edge of the trough, and my dad gets done, zips up, and he's like, "God damn!" He looks at me, and I just got my dick laying on that bare trough, and he fucking grabbed me and picked me up, and I'm pissing. He just picked me up, so my dick wasn't on the trough. So I'm like levitating. I was like hanging up in the air, suspended, fucking just hanging in the air like a fucking stunt man, just pissing. He's holding me up, and he set me down, and he's like, "You done?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm done." And he's like, "You can't put your wiener on stuff like that."
It'd been really cool if you would just like pick you up by your ankles and let you piss upside down.
I felt like a Jackie Chan, like a stuntman, dude. He picked me straight up in the air, and I just kept pissing, dude. I about got that fuzzy gray fucker across the aisle from me. We called him fucking White Fuzz, man. Yeah, he said you can't be putting your wiener on stuff like that. I remember
it's like my life's motto.
my dad, he's kind of no nonsense at the time, but he. I just thought it was funny that he called it a wiener. What a fucking story that was.
Your pee-pee.
That was my pee. But yeah, in this bathroom, Joel's like, God, he saw John Holmes' dick, and he's like, oh, like fucking God. And this is back when guys didn't have big penises.
Yeah.
I don't know how the DNA is we've kind of evolved since then, but there were not a lot of big dicks back then. Or maybe there was and we just didn't know it. But he saw that dick and he knew that that dick was destined for greatness.
For greatness, yeah.
He insisted on...
Sweet.
Oh, man, you're not going to put my dick to work. My dick's on welfare. I got a sad dick living in the projects.
I think our YouTube stream's seizing out.
Is it?
It looks like it.
Error. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth. Yeah, my internet's been really bad today. Really bad today. I don't know how to... We can pause it. I don't know how to... Okay, let's just try this. We're going to disconnect. We're back on.
Possibly. Is there anybody here? Oh, yeah. Someone, Black Hat 1409 said they sent us an email today and look for the one from Ben. Whatever that means. Very vague. Excellent connection. Well, yeah. I think you done did it.
Shit, I don't know.
I haven't seen a chat come through in a minute. You fucker still there? There we go. Yas. Sorry about that, guys.
It's been really bad today. To maintain smooth... Yeah. Error. YouTube...
Seizing out.
It's on welfare. I got a sad dick living in the projects.
I think our YouTube stream... You know what the fuck that means.
Oh, you know what it means. And just to go a little further into what the size of John Holmes' penis.
Oh yeah, let's get into that.
That it is the most legendary penis in the history of all mankind.
Ever.
It is a very popular penis. I personally never tried it, but I know that there's a quite profound the size of. If you just type in John Holmes penis and look at the Google images,
Yeah, do yourself a favor.
you can really see what he's got going on. This is from
Pause the podcast right now. Google search that up.
I took this from Wikipedia. It says, veteran porn actress Dorothy Sika Patton has said that Holmes' penis was the biggest in the industry. In the documentary film Exhausted, She described oral sex with Holmes as similar to filleting a telephone pole.
Fuck. Good for her for knowing what that's like.
Ring, ring. Holmes' first wife recalled his claiming to be 10 inches when he first measured himself on another occasion. When he was a grower, he just kept growing. Holmes claimed his penis was 16 inches long and 13 inches in circumference at the base of the shaft. He must be...
Oh, fuck. That's a fucking tree trunk.
Measuring around the balls.
Holy shit. He's got fucking Groot down there as his dick.
Holmes' longtime friend and industry associate Bill Amerson said, quote, I saw John measure himself several times. It was 13 and a half inches. In contrast, medical studies of human penis size have consistently found erections average between about 5 and 6 inches, with fewer than 0.2% of penises being over the size of 9.5 inches. Another adult industry historian, Bill Margold, in the documentary Wad, The Life and Times of John C. Holmes, quote, we're talking about a dick from my elbow down, gesturing to his outstretched arms. So, as a man, I want you to look at your arm, and from the crease of your elbow, from the nook,
The butt crack of your arm.
the butt crack of your bicep,
Down to your fucking fist.
that's what John Holmes' fucking wiener looked like.
Good lord.
That's a big old fancy
Literally
dick.
a horse dick.
And what do you do with it? I feel like that would be a curse more than anything. I mean, it made him a lot of money, but it also
Sure.
got him in a lot of sticky situations.
Yeah. Oof. I don't know. That's scary. That's scary big.
You know, if God said right now,
You can't even do something with the whole thing.
if he said, buddy, you want a 15-inch dick or a 5-inch dick? I'll probably take the 5-inch.
Sure.
But then you could be a really you'd be a party favor with a.
That's true. You could join the circus. Well, not like a kid circus or anything. Like
No,
a,
it definitely-
a freak show.
Kid circus.
Yeah. You could like lasso horses, like at a,
You
at a
do lot of
rodeo.
stuff with a big dick.
Yeah.
So talk about it being a party favor. Whenever you and I were growing up, there was a kid that kind of semi hung out with us. Not really. He was kind of a weirdo,
Mm-hmm.
but he was a cool dude. This motherfucker had a huge dick. And like freshman, sophomore year, you know, the older kids, the older cool kids,
Mm-hmm.
we would start to find out where their parties were at,
Sure.
and then we would infiltrate these parties.
Mm-hmm.
And then the older, cooler girls would be like, who the fuck are these kids at our party? And then we would leave, we'd peace out, you know, get on our bikes and ride home. But then we started bringing the kid with the big dick with us. And we knew, we knew that,
I know this person.
yeah, I mean, we don't talk to him anymore, but he's a tall, lanky kid. You know, ask me off the air, because I don't know if he
Okay.
listens or not. But
First initial.
B, Brad.
Okay.
We started taking him to parties, and he just had a fucking huge dick.
Okay. Hmm.
But our plan was,
I think I know who you're talking about, but I didn't know about this.
I had this. I had a plan hashed
Okay.
out, and there was, you know, the girl that was Miss Popular, like Erica.
Yeah.
She was older than us.
Yeah.
She was the one like, who the fuck are these babies that are here? And I was like, wait a second. This man right here who didn't talk. I was
Ain't
like
nothing
his,
baby about this
I was
man.
like his Paul Heyman. I was like his hype man. I'm like, hold on a second before you kick us out again. This kid right here has the biggest dick I've ever seen in person. And then she said, okay, well, I want to see it.
Fuck.
And I turned to him. I'm like,
Now's your time, buddy.
you gotta show it to her. And he said, can I go to the bathroom first?
You gotta chub up.
And I said, you got to take a fucking shit or something? I didn't think, I didn't even think about it. I wasn't
Yeah,
even in that
yeah.
mode. He's like, I want to get it kind of,
He's like, bro, you put me on the spot,
I
man.
kind of want to get it there. And I'm like, yeah, man, whatever. So he goes in the bathroom, and I'm just sitting there in this chair in this small-ass house.
Yeah.
And they're talking. They start snorting pills and shit. And I'm just like, fuck, man. I never really, seen anything like this before.
Like, I'm so scared.
Yeah. What time does fucking Eureka's Castle come on? I'm so worried. And I kind of forget about him being in the bathroom.
Yeah, just tugging it.
And then she's like kind of vibing on this dude. And I just want to be there hanging out. I'm like kind of walking around. Some of the older guys were there. and they were cool with me, but the girls were just being bitches, man.
Yeah, that's
and then I
typical.
hear that bathroom door open. This dude walks out like a toddler with his fucking pants around his ankles. He's penguin walking. You know, like when you're walking on ice and you like kind of shuffle with your hands and your feet. And he comes shuffling out, dude. Probably 10.5 inches of just raw,
angry dick.
Angry fucking straight up erect dick. And he's like, there it is. He just got his hands on his fucking waist.
He fucking hits it with the green giant pose.
And she turned around and she was talking to this dude that was like on steroids and crazy and shit. And she turned around and she's like, oh my God. And he's just like, yeah, like shaking his head up and down. Dude,
you like that bitch?
Dude, we were like 14 or something. This kid had a fucking 11-inch dick when we were 14. And he's just like, yeah. And then I stand up. I'm the hype man. I'm like, look at that fucking dick. Because that's my boy. When he showed me his dick, he didn't make it hard for me, so I only saw it flaccid. And I knew at the time.
So you're even more proud.
And the funny part was we were playing like dodgeball in the neighborhood or like fucking some kind of stupid game. And he hid behind a tree and like I was trying to hit him with the ball, a tennis ball.
Yeah.
We'd take tennis balls and fill them full of fucking pennies and we'd throw them at each other.
Jesus Christ.
But he was hiding behind a tree from me. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking get you. And I run over there. And then he took one step from the side of the tree. And he had his pants down. Just in the
God damn it!
And I stopped in my tracks. I still kind of a little, fucking little baby dick.
Sure.
You know, I was a little young. I saw this dick, and I'm like, holy fucking shit, man! What is that thing? And he started laughing, and he dipped back behind the tree and put his dick. I'm sure it took him a second to put his dick back in his pants. And I'm like, man, that was a huge dick. We gotta show that dick off. And then I got kicked out of this party, and I'm thinking, I gotta bring Brad with me next time. And I'm going to show his dick off, kind of like I own the dick. Like, he's my property.
Like it's a cool little dog you just got.
Yeah, and he never hung out at these parties or anything, so he was excited to go. But I was like, look, man, I'm bringing you for a reason.
You're my fucking ticket into this party.
And then he came out, he's like, yeah. And I said, look at that fucking wiener right there. I brought the guy to the party with the world's biggest dick. You guys bow down to me. I'm the world's greatest dick finder.
That's fucking great, man.
You know, I think back to how gay that really was. I didn't like his dick. I just knew it was big, and I want to show it to everybody. And she was cool with us from now on. She'd be like, oh, there's the kid with the big dick. And he never got laid, man. Just everyone's like, this is a scary dick. I mean, he might have got laid, but I didn't know about it.
Right. If it's the one that I'm thinking of, then yeah, I didn't know of any of it.
Yeah, man. Huge penis. I said, get a load of this dick. When you're done snorting your Tylenols, I don't know what they're snorting. I'm not a fucking pharmacist.
Ivermectin. Is that a thing then? They're preparing.
Yeah, man, they were trailblazers. So John Holmes started doing some modeling for the photographer and also dancing at nightclubs as a stripper. But John's wife, Sharon, she had no idea what her husband was doing. She thought he was still working at the fucking meat plant, driving a forklift around.
Oh, he was working at the meat plant, all right.
Yeah. But what blew his cover is she walked into the bedroom kind of quietly, and he had his back to the door, and he was measuring his dick. Mm-hmm. And after he measured it, he started celebrating, yeah, yippee. And she said that was kind of how she knew that something was off at this point. He explained to his wife that this was their ticket to riches.
The meat ticket.
Yeah, the meat ticket, all right. This is their way to go from rags to riches. But he went from rags to bitches instead. Too many bitches. You can't have a wife and be doing porn at the same time. It's just not going to work.
It doesn't usually work.
And he explained, well, actually, after doing all these centerfold, whatever he was doing in these nightclubs, he took the next step. And in 1970, he went to his first porno audition where he and a few other men met with porno producer Reb Sowitz. And this is what Reb Sowitz has to say about his first encounter with John Holmes.
Hell yes.
I had an office on Las Palmas. And three people one day came in the office. Two of them I weren't sure what they were. And John wanted to make some money, wanted to make some loops. Loops were about 40 minutes to an hour worth of sex.
In
So that's what they were doing at the time. They would make these loops. And with these loops, they would play them at like bachelor parties and all male parties. And it was really, at the time, pornos were 1,000% illegal to make.
Oh,
They were not illegal to buy or consume, but they were 1,000% illegal to make.
Huh.
The loops that they're speaking about that John started to star in, they would play these loops at bachelor parties and all male special events. So all these dudes would come together and just watch fucking pornos together. It was kind of like, oh yeah, man, we're gonna fucking watch some porn.
That's really weird.
It is really weird, man. And I think that just a different, we think of it differently now because
I think we're just so desensitized.
pornography is just at the
Fingertip.
tips of our fingertips, and you can find grandpas squirting on each other.
Interesting.
I don't know if you can find that for sure, but I think if you searched it, you probably find something.
Yeah, sure.
And you're right, we're desensitized to it. But back then, porn was kind of that new thing.
Mm-hmm.
Motion picture hadn't been around for all that long, and kind of hardcore porn was. This is its infancy without sounding like a fucking creep.
I feel like, video was made for people to fuck on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I wish I could do a lot more of it. I like to film myself with my wife, and, we got to be really drunk for that.
Critique your performance afterwards.
Just get better. Much like watching film after a football game.
Yeah.
Just say, she can look back in and say, hey, your stubbly pubes are hurting me right here.
Like, look, your ninth stroke was a little short. We need to lengthen that one up, and you can go another 10 seconds.
You actually ejaculated before I could even start the film. You can't win them all, can you, babe?
Nope.
He had to eventually explain all this porn shit to his wife, and this is actually an interview with his wife and what she had to say about John.
I love the audio.
In the porn industry.
Infidelity.
One day he comes home and tells me that he's found what he wants to do now. And I said, John, I mean, we're married. I'm not going out and fooling around, and you're the male equivalent of a whore. And
Damn.
So we can't think of it that way. It's like if I were a carpenter, this is my tool.
In July.
She's going to get canceled for using that W word.
She said, John.
John.
You can tell she's got a pretty cool hippie vibe to her.
For sure, yeah. Definitely for the 70s.
Mm-hmm. But he explained it. He said, you know what? My fucking lungs are all messed up from working at the meatpacking plant. I can't do anything else. The only thing I have that can make us any money is my dick. Yeah. I'm stupid. I'm not good with my hands. I'm not smart. I don't know how to work a calculator. I'm tired of selling bushes door to door, but I got a huge, huge dick, and it can, I can go to work with this huge cock, and that's what he did. And
it's his tools of his trade.
She stayed with him, man. She stayed with him to the bitter end, and we'll get to the bitter end.
She was a down bitch.
In July of 1973, I'm already reading ahead. In July of 1972, Deep Throat caused the porno industry to explode. People were coming out in masses to theaters to see the film Deep Throat, as it was the first mega hit in the porn industry. Couples were lining up around the block to get into theaters to see the 1972 classic Deep Throat, starring Jonathan C. Holmes. However, the porn makers saw what was going on. So there was the loops that they were making, but now they pulled out like a full-length film for this Deep Throat. And that's when the porn industry just said, all right, this is to the fucking moon, Jack. And the porn makers knew they had to capitalize on this success. And that's where we come to porn director Bob Chen, who kind of reminds me of Chan from The Hangover. Was that his name? Mr. Chan?
Yeah.
Motherfuckers! Yeah. You fuck on me! Yeah, that guy from The Hangover. Kind of reminds me of him. You can tell he's definitely cut some people's fingertips off before in his life. He had an open casting call that John Holmes attended, and here's director Bobby Chin talking about the first time John Holmes came into his office for an audition.
Hell yeah.
I took one look at him. He was a skinny, scrawny guy with an afro hairdo. And he just was not attractive. I said, I don't think so. And he says, I think you'll reconsider. He took his pants down, and I reconsidered.
He's like, God damn.
Yeah, look at that fucking dick.
After 20 minutes scribbling on a napkin, Chin created a character, porno private detective Johnny Wad.
We got him to cut his hair a little, plaster it down with brilliantine, and tried to make him look like a private eye. So I wrote Johnny Wad because my partner, when he saw what John had, said, God, what a wad that guy had.
I've never heard
man.
I've never heard a dick called a wad before. Oh, what a wad he has.
It had to have been like a fucking 70s term.
And so the legend of Johnny Wad was born, and Johnny
great.
Wad was more synonymous with porn than John Holmes was.
Okay.
While they're the same person, you know, we know John Holmes, but at the time, everybody knew him as Johnny Wad. And that was the persona that he took on. He started to live the character Johnny Wad. He was this private eye investigator, and he would investigate all these cases. He would never solve the fucking case, but he would fuck anything in his path to get to the bottom of his case. But
Hell
he
yeah.
never solved the cases.
Oh, man. He's a shitty detective, but he fucked.
He did fuck. And John Holmes would go on to sleep with his account over 14,000 different women.
Jesus.
And he starred in over 2,500 feature pornographic films.
Man.
And now we're going to give you all of the spin-offs from the Johnny Wad series. Starting with the Johnny Wad movie. I fucked my notes up right there. He was only paid $75 for filming the original Johnny Wad movie.
Oh, shit.
But then we had all these spin-offs starting with Johnny Wad,
And then we got The Flesh of the Lotus in 71.
The Blonde in Black Lace, 1972.
Year later, Tropic of Passion.
The Danish Connection.
Around the World with Johnny Wad.
Here Comes Johnny Wad.
Liquid Lips.
Tell them Johnny Wad is here.
Tapestry of Passion.
The Jade Pussycat.
The China Cat.
Blonde Fire.
The Return of Johnny Wad.
But not only did he have the Johnny Wad hits,
Oh.
he had an entire catalog of other movies that weren't associated with Johnny Wad. Some of his greatest hits include Confessions of a Teenage Peanut Butter Freak.
Cream Rinse. What the fuck? Of a peanut butter freak. I need to go watch that. I need to know what that's about.
Confessions of a Teenage Peanut Butter Freak. What did you say? Cream rinse?
Cream rinse.
I could go for a good cream rinse right now. What the fuck is a cream rinse?
I think that's cum. It's gotta be.
Okay, we gotta get back in that. Dracula Sucks.
California Gigolo.
Insatiable.
Prisoner of Paradise.
Up and Coming.
The Private Pleasures of John C. Holmes.
Young and Hung.
The Good, the Bad, and the Horny.
Looking for Mr. Good Sex.
Puss-O-Rama.
Saturday Night Beaver.
Phantasm.
Evil Come, C-U-M. Evil Come, Evil Go.
Aunt Peg.
Old Aunt Peg's coming to town. Nasty Nurses.
Hot and Saucy Pizza Girls.
Aphrodisiac, the sexual secret of marijuana.
Fantastic Orgy.
Honey Throat.
Dear Pam.
And last but not least, Lollipop Palace.
Man, these are... fuck.
God, I'd like some good fucking honey throat tonight.
All these names are so much better than like stepbrother fucks me when my parents are home.
Yeah.
Like,
brother catches me jacking off.
yeah.
My brother's like, no, that actually happened.
Oh man, there's some fucking gems in that.
Aunt Peg sounds like it hurts.
I just want to know what a peanut butter freak is. Confessions of a Peanut Butter Freak.
They had to work really hard to work around the police because it was illegal to film these movies. And the way the operation would work is they would decide, okay, we're gonna go to 555 Main Street, and everybody would show up on the day of filming. Everybody would pull up in their cars to 555 Main Street, and then they would have a runner that would go around to all the different cars. You'd be like, okay, we're actually going to be filming at the warehouse over on 2nd Street. So then everybody would kind of see if they were being tailed by anybody, and then everybody would dip out. So they wouldn't find out to the day of filming where they were actually filming at. And they would give them this original address just so they could go around car to car and look at people eye to eye, see if somebody was with them, if they're wearing a wire or whatever, whatever
Clever.
the case may be, and tell them, hey, this is actually where we're going to be filming at today. So one thing that was, I guess, pretty good about John was at first he would not partake in any extracurriculars, no drinking, no smoking, no snorting, no shooting. He wasn't doing anything like that. And actually, Bobby Chin elaborates on that right here.
When I first worked with him, the film Johnny Wad, he wouldn't even smoke marijuana. He smoked cigarettes, but he wouldn't touch grass. After...
Isn't that cool how the way he says grass? He wouldn't touch grass.
He smoked cigarettes, but he wouldn't touch grass. After a couple films, I found out he smoked grass, which was cool. I did too. So
I still do.
Deal. And then he started drinking. He never drank before.
John was having...
So he would smoke grass. I eat ass. So John Holmes and I are really not that different.
Yeah.
Gotta be an ass eater in 2022.
Sure, yeah.
Do people... I wonder if...
Excuse me, sorry.
I'll save this for another episode. It was going to be a long, elaborate talk about having your ass eaten.
Okay. No, let's get into it. This is a perfect episode for...
Well, I think we'll save it towards the end because there's a really fun part about eating ass.
Okay, sure.
At the end.
Okay, cool.
We're gonna get filled up right there.
Fill it up.
John was a aficionado of a good scotch. He loved a good scotch. I think you're having scotch right now, right?
Am I? I'm having Old Forester.
Oh, you're not.
No.
Scotch is on the floor.
Yeah, it's on the floor.
I think I'll have some scotch next.
I do enjoy scotch.
If I make it that far.
Yeah.
About this time, his wife gave him the ultimatum. His wife set him down and said, look, you have to figure out what you're going to do, John, because if you stay in the porn business, you are not going to have me as a wife.
No.
She said that she would remain his companion, his best friend, his partner, but she would remain married to him, but in no way, shape, or form would she remain his lover.
Oh.
So she didn't like him being a juggalo, a gigolo.
Does it say a juggalo?
He's a fucking,
He's a
running
precursor.
He's a hatchet runner.
He's got fucking black and white face paint.
He's down with a clown, man.
Whoop whoop.
And he no, we can't do juggalos on this show. We can't do it. He would try really hard to keep his two lives separate. His wife got a job managing an apartment complex. And what John did is he was dumber than a sack of rubber dicks, and he had no real skill, but he worked as a handyman around the apartment complex. Mm-hmm. And that was kind of how he was fooling his wife. She's like, because at his peak, John was making $3,000 a day doing pornography. So he's making hand over fist $20,000 a week making fucking porn.
That's a shit ton of money back then.
He's like, I am a really good handyman. And
I mean, that's good money now, let alone back in the fucking 70s and 80s.
And he worked as a handyman at the apartment complex that she was managing. And she kind of thought that was his thing. Like, that's how he was making his money. He was working he was the handyman for the apartment complex. And he did a good job of trying to keep the porn shit separate from his regular life. But then this Johnny Wad character started to really dig its talons into John Holmes. So he was known as a compulsive liar. And he had an elaborate backstory of all this wild shit that he made. When people would talk to him and interview him, they'd be like, tell us about John Holmes. And he'd be like, I'm a dropout neurosurgeon from.
What the fuck?
I lost my virginity to my family's French maid, which he grew up almost kind of poor. They didn't have a maid. There's no such thing as French maids
Weird.
in Ohio.
So he just made this fucking character for himself.
Yeah, it was, and he made up all this stuff, and he was known to be a compulsive liar. No one believed anything he said. While working as a handyman around the apartment complex, he met a girl by the name of Dawn. She was young at the time, but she was of age. I think she was 18 or 19 years old. And Dawn's dad moved in the apartment complex, and Dawn, was with her dad, obviously. And John Holmes met Dawn in the apartment complex, and actually a love blossomed between John and Dawn. And one of their first dates, John Holmes took Dawn on a movie premiere to see one of his movies. So at this point, they hadn't been intimate. They hadn't been, they hadn't gotten down and done the ball smacking, butt flapping, doing the motherfucker.
Sure.
So she goes to this movie premiere with him, and lo and behold, I would have fucking ran out of that movie theater so fast when I saw that dick.
Terrified.
But Dawn actually elaborates on the date that night and what she actually, what it was like seeing John naked for the first time.
Exciting.
When we were introduced, he kind of just looked me up and down and went, And I said, what? And he said, too young. And he turned around and walked out the door. And that kind of really pissed me off, initially. But it did make me notice him.
Their affair began almost immediately. On one occasion, Holmes took her to see a Johnny Wad flick.
We were seated, and everybody who worked there made their turn walking past us at the aisle. And then when the first shots of him being naked showed up on the screen, I started laughing. And he nudged me in my ribs, and then he started laughing. And the both of us just giggled like little kids, and that's pretty much how he broke me into the world, understanding the world of porno.
You know how she's laughing?
She's like, I fucking can't handle that big dick.
My fucking insides are about to get destroyed.
She's like, I'm fucking 18. I can't fucking take it. She's like, fuck.
God damn!
Never thought I'd have a hysterectomy at 18.
I'm about to turn my fucking uterus into a milkshake.
Gonna turn my innie to an Audi.
Oh man, that's a picture right there of John with his wife when they first got together. I don't know why that's on there, but
damn.
His wife had no idea about the mistress, Dawn, and he made it very clear to Dawn that while, yes, he was married, he was in a very bad spot with his wife, but in no way, shape, or form was Dawn to have any interactions with his wife. So he did not want his wife knowing about his mistress, and he wanted his mistress to know that, hey, I am married, but the shit's on the rocks. We do not participate with one another. He was taking every gig possible at this point. They said he was taking gigs for $1,000 gigs, which was kind of, he could have commanded a lot more money.
Sure.
Than that. But he was doing several things a day, doing stuff for crackers, but he was taking everything. And they said that he was having so much sex and doing so much shit that he was bored. That he was just bored by all of it. And at that point,
desensitization.
His wiener didn't feel it. It couldn't tickle his pickle anymore. And it caused a lot of boredom for him, and he started to use cocaine heavily to kind of spice things up.
It's not good for your dick, though.
No, it's not. And he and Dawn, his mistress, they both started using fucking cocaine. When you wants to go out, you gotta take her out. Cocaine. Eric Clapton's a fucking dog, man.
He is.
He's a good guitar player.
I hear he's a complete asshole, though.
I hear he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, he's a complete dick.
Where am I at here? They started, snorting the cocaine together, going, as she said, at first we snort some coke and then we walk around all night. We just go fucked up and walk around.
Fucking snooters.
And then they start getting fucked up and going to the nightclubs.
Oh.
Yeah. do a little dance. And they go out dancing and partying and shit, fucking each other.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're fucking each other, but she probably didn't want to fuck him, seeing that big old goddamn Alabama black snake he had down there wrapped up in his jorts. They started hitting the nightclub. I don't know if he wore jorts.
He looks like someone that would.
Yeah, for sure. And they met up with one of the biggest swinging dicks in all of Los Angeles, Eddie Nash. Now, Eddie Nash was not his birth name, but Eddie Nash immigrated to America from Palestine. He was a Palestinian immigrant that came to America in the 1950s. And in the 1960s, he opened up a hot dog stand
Oh, fuck yeah.
in the heart of Hollywood.
Have you ever had hot dogs from a hot dog stand?
Yeah, man.
Have you? Man, I feel like I'm missing out. I haven't.
We, when I was in San Francisco, Roy and I went to Alcatraz.
Yeah.
And we went really early in the morning. And when we got off the boat from Alcatraz and went back onto the Fisherman's Wharf,
Yeah.
there was like fucking hot dog vendors everywhere.
Oh, dude, that's so dope.
And they're like, you want onions and peppers on it? And it's like, I said, yes, fucking shove it all inside.
Oh, man.
And we got these spicy sausages with onions and
fuck yeah.
peppers. And this was the most delicious dog
Yeah.
I've ever eaten.
I mean, I've had them at like what they have set up at like baseball stadiums and shit, but that's not like a street vendor fucking.
These guys had grills hooked up to their bicycles.
Oh, dude, yeah, that's the shit that I want.
Yeah.
I want the super sketchy stuff where you're probably gonna get food poisoning, but it's gonna be worth it.
Oh, you take Venmo? He's like, fuck no, I don't take Venmo. You got cash, buddy? I said, yeah, I got cash. $12 for a hot dog. But
Oh, fuck. No, that's California. What do you
It's
expect?
huge, man. It was a meal. It was good.
That's good.
So he would, Eddie Nash had this hot dog stand, and this hot dog stand, man, he was making cash, hand over fist selling these wieners in Hollywood.
Oh.
Imagine that, people in California wanting a wiener.
Who would have thunk it?
You hear the punchline there?
I do, yeah.
We're going to fucking feel the hot coals for that one.
We're here all night.
We are here all night. And he parlayed his hot dog stand into nightclubs. He made so much money that he started opening up nightclubs.
Damn.
But not only did he open up a nightclub, he had a nightclub for gays.
Nice.
He had nightclubs for blacks,
Hell
for
yeah.
whites, for lesbians, for Hispanics. He had dance clubs, drug clubs, strip clubs. You name it, whatever your flavor was,
Wow.
he had a nightclub specifically for you. Eddie Nash became the biggest swinging dick in L.A. Everybody wanted to be a part of his scene. He had all of the money. He had all of the drugs. Eddie Nash ruled the street. He was the godfather of L.A. And this guy was fucking pure evil, man. He did not care who he took down.
Yeah, those dudes are usually like that.
He was, man. He didn't fucking care.
Yeah.
And he was just, everything you think about a person like that being, he was. And he controlled all the drugs and all the money in the city. He ran a pretty serious drug operation out of his own home in L.A. And so this is funny. I don't know why, but someone that was always at Eddie Nash's house was a guy by the name of Scott Thurston. I have it written down as Thurston, but I think it's Thurston. This was Liberace's boyfriend.
Oh, shit.
And you want to talk about this guy, he's fucking beautiful, but
Is he super flamboyant?
he's very not very flamboyant, but he is a beautiful, beautiful man.
Is he like really effeminate?
I don't know, kind of. Not really. You see him in a second.
Okay, great. I can't wait.
But what's really cool is Liberace. Liberace was Liberace.
It's Liberace, man.
Liberace. He said, you are fucking ugly and you got to get you fixed. So, from all of the interviews I watched, I want to say this Scott Thurston dude was really good at sucking cock, and it didn't matter who it was. If you were gay or not gay, you were letting this guy suck your cock.
Oh, so he was the cocksucker of all cocksuckers.
He was a mega cocksucker.
Okay, cool.
He had really pretty lips, nice, beautiful blonde hair.
Yeah, that's bragging rights, man.
But Liberace said, I'm gonna get you plastic surgery. But this Scott Thurston guy, he had to lose weight for whatever surgery he had to get that Liberace was going to make him get. He had to lose weight for it. So the remedy for him to lose weight was Liberace sent him to Eddie Nash's house just to fucking get him strung out on
Just do
drugs,
drugs, yeah.
and lose all the weight. So then that Scott Thurston guy was always at Eddie Nash's house because he probably sucked a wonderful dick, and they just always wanted him around because he was there, and he would just suck any dick. It didn't matter. He just sucked the fucking dick.
Okay.
And he was Liberace's boyfriend, so he had a lot of connections. He had a lot of money at his disposal, and if the Liberace was footing the bill, then there was probably a lot of money going back and forth.
This is fun.
Yeah, so this is Eddie. This is Scott Thurston, Liberace's boyfriend, speaking about what was going on at Eddie Nash's house.
It was just incredible. I mean, it was just a rotating door that never stopped. People in and out of all hours of the night. Probably 50, 70 different people, just in and out, in and out. Money, drugs, money, drugs, money, drugs, money, drugs. Heroin, cocaine. Oof. It was just an incredible scene. It was something like out of Scarface.
He had a sweet flat top.
He did have a really good flat top. You can't tell it from the video, but he was a wonderful dick sucker. And another constant face at Eddie Nash's house was Eddie Nash's bodyguard, Greg Dials. Now, Greg Dials is a 6 foot, 400-pound dude.
Ooh, big fucker.
He was mean, nasty, and ruthless. And you think about like maybe Jay-Z's bodyguard, just a big dude in the background pushing people around him, like a bodyguard for J-Lo, just some big, buff dude in the background.
Just a big burly fucker.
Greg Dials was different. Greg Dials is like, he's the bodyguard that cuts people's fucking ankles off.
Oh, man, she's a gangster.
He's a gangster. He'd make people disappear.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
He would do those kind of deals.
Yeah.
And he was known as being someone that you did not fucking cross, whatever you did. You did not fuck with this dude because this guy did not care.
He was about that life.
He would make you go away. In an instant, and people were terrified.
I would say that's fucking terrifying.
And he was Eddie Nash's right-hand man. That was his dude, man. And this guy didn't have a family. He didn't care about anything except for protecting and taking care of Eddie Nash and doing Eddie Nash's dastardly deeds that needed to be performed. That's all he cared about, was fucking taking care of Eddie Nash. Good dude to have around. We need somebody like that around for our podcast. Someone that just wants to take care of us, make sure we're okay, suck on our toes if that's what we want done. But Greg Dials was a gigantic fucking mountainous fat fucker that just killed people. Eddie Nash saw John Holmes partying at one of his nightclubs, because you'll remember that John Holmes was starting to get real big into the booger sugar, snorting cocaine, partying at the nightclubs. And Eddie Nash one night saw John Holmes down the floor dancing, partying, and Eddie Nash said, "Holy fuck, man, it's Johnny Holmes." And Eddie Nash was like, "That guy's got a big dick. I want to party with him." Not because Eddie Nash was gay, just because kind of
just cool.
He was just smitten with John Holmes.
Just like you as a little kid with running around with your friend with the big dick. You wanted to hang out with the kid with the big dick.
Yeah, he was a mega star. He was popular. Everyone in Hollywood knew who he was. Everybody, he was a household name, and it's hard to achieve that status as a household name being a porn star.
Yeah.
Because even to this day, there aren't very, the household names for porn are the household names from back then. Like, you talk about John Holmes and Ron Jeremy. People know who that is, but you say,
For sure.
What about Siri? And people are like, Siri is the chick on my phone. Siri is somebody different.
I mean, it all depends. I mean, there's still people that have made, like Riley Reid has made an entire fucking empire right now. She's like the new Jenna Jameson.
I don't know who the fuck she is.
You got fucking Johnny Sins.
I've heard
He's
the name,
fucking huge.
I know who he is, but Brickzilla.
James Dean. He's fucking huge.
I know who he, because he did the Farrah Abraham stuff. But
those aren't household names. Like they're not household names. Yeah, there's no more real like household names. There's definitely people that have made a lot of money and
kind of transcended.
Made it their own business, which is fucking great.
Riley Reid.
Yeah, man.
I don't know.
She's huge,
nasty,
super fucking popular.
I don't know who she is. She probably got some shit that you can't get off with a razor.
She's got a bush.
You can get that off with a razor. Oh man. So Eddie Nash, he's kind of smitten by John Holmes. He's this porno megastar in his club. Man, this is fucking cool. And they quickly become friends, acquaintances, and they eventually become business associates. Because I'll remind you, Eddie Nash was one of the biggest fucking coke dealers in all of L.A. At this point in 1979, John Holmes was dangerously addicted to cocaine.
Oof.
It took all of the money he had, and it took all of the time he had. He devoted it all to getting high. He was getting high so much that he could no longer afford to live and do drugs. That $3,000 a day that he was making doing porn was all evaporated with his drug usage.
Dude, that's nuts.
Couldn't afford to buy a house, a car. Couldn't afford new clothes. He was going to photo shoots, or he was going to porno shoots, and he would show up and he was getting paid, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, and he was showing up in fucking rags because he didn't have anything to wear. And they're like, what the fuck is going on? This dude was blowing all of his money. His nice clothes that he was like selling and pawning off. He literally had nothing.
That's nuts.
He was putting himself in a pretty
that sucks, man.
Pretty bad situation.
Addiction's a bad thing, man.
Yeah, he couldn't afford to live anymore. He just couldn't afford to support his habit. He did get Dawn, his mistress, to start helping him with the coke thing. He started dealing coke for Eddie Nash, and Dawn was helping him bag it up and helping him separate it and shit. And she was helping him run drugs. So kind of John Holmes and his mistress Dawn, they were both intertwined in this web of drug dealing. And John Holmes was working with, Eddie Nash was happy to. He kind of wore it as a badge of honor, like, hey man, I got fucking John Holmes dealing coke for me. It was kind of a badge of honor for him. So it wasn't much of a burden. And Eddie Nash had so much money and drugs that it didn't matter if John was just blowing through all this shit. If, he'd give John a few grams to sell, and John would just fucking snort it all.
Yeah. And
it was no sweat off his back. He had Johnny Holmes, the porn megastar, working for him. So it kind of got his rocks off just having that. In 1980, Eddie Nash so Eddie Nash was snorting coke too. But then in 1980, Eddie Nash got addicted to freebase cocaine. And I didn't really know what freebasing was.
No idea.
So going back to the 1980s, there's a thing called freebasing, where when you're making cocaine, before you make cocaine, you have the base compound.
Okay.
And then people would start. So cocaine, you snort it, but that base compound, you can smoke it, and it would get you so fucking euphorically fucked up, so much more potent than cocaine, so much more potent than Quaaludes, all the stuff they were doing back then. That's what everybody started doing, man, was freebasing crack. Well, freebasing cocaine. That's how Richard Pryor blew himself up. That's it was really dangerous to freebase this shit, just because all the chemicals and the way it worked. One wrong move and you blew your entire head off, blew the house up, lit yourself on fire. But it was highly, highly addictive. And once you started freebasing cocaine, it was like there was no coming back from it. While it was, heroin, we kind of have heroin now. Heroin is a hard battle to fight and win. Much the same back then with the freebasing. But like I said, freebase is just like so it's like smoking the fucking marijuana plant out of the ground. So it's
gotcha.
You take it its most potent. You're supposed to, some cleaning products, you're supposed to dilute it before you use it. It's just like using the undiluted shit. That's pretty much what it is.
Makes sense.
And Eddie Nash started freebasing, which is bad because he had all that money, all that drugs, and he could just do whatever he wanted with it. And he kind of became a recluse. Eddie Nash wouldn't go outside. He was running so he had all these nightclubs, probably half a dozen nightclubs. He was running all of these nightclubs from his from a breakfast nook in his bedroom. He would just people would come in with the money, drop it off, and he would write a receipt, whatever. But he was running all these nightclubs from his bedroom, and he was running this drug empire from his bedroom. He wouldn't leave the house. It was a constant grind to just get high, freebasing. But guess who Eddie Nash introduced to freebase cocaine with him? Old Johnny Wad, Johnny Holmes himself. And John kind of had a really addictive personality at this point. And John Holmes would go to Eddie Nash's house, and they would get high for days, for 2 or 3 days. They would stay up and just freebase cocaine.
Oof.
And John would make his mistress, Dawn, stay out in the car for days at a time.
Oh, my gosh.
And he would tell Eddie Nash, like, oh, I fucking forgot something out in the car. And then he would run out to the car, and then he would drop Dawn a couple rocks, and then she would get high in the car. And that's how he would keep her out there. He'd just keep on going out and dropping her drugs. And she would sit in the car and just get fucked up. And then he would go back inside and just rage with Eddie Nash for days.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and she would just stay out there in the fucking car.
Damn.
I feel bad leaving my kids in the car running in the gas station.
Well, we might come back and giving them crack.
Yeah. Yeah, fucking smoke this. You'll be all right. And and John became so addicted to freebasing cocaine that he started to carry a briefcase around full of butane torches, pipes. So no matter where he went, what business he was conducting, he could crack this briefcase open and he could freebase some coke and get fucked up.
That's wild.
And it was really digging its claws into him. And here's some of his fellow actors and actresses speak about how deeply he was affected by his addiction at this point.
He never knew where he was. It was usually loaded. So he'd come in. I don't know if he was on Quaaludes or Coke or whatever it was.
Former porn actress Sharon Mitchell recalls Holmes' behavior.
John was like one of the main stars of the movie, and we had been shooting everything but his scene because we couldn't find him for the majority of the day. I went into the closet for some reason, and he was in the closet getting high. He had been in the closet getting loaded all day long and was just terrified and just hiding and just in a real paranoid state. And that's when the seriousness of, his addiction kind of affected me.
And much like you said earlier, your dick doesn't get hard on whatever.
Yeah.
And he was freebasing all this cocaine, and like you said, his dick just stopped working. So
I only know that because John Jones.
Yeah.
John Jones he popped hot for fucking roids because he was doing all this cocaine, and then he'd take gas station dick pills because his dick didn't work right.
Oh, man.
He'd pop those fucking stingers or whatever the fuck those are called. I think it's an energy pill.
Those fucking blue rhinos.
Yeah. And those fucking made him pop.
Those red hornets.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man, like you said, his wiener, it wouldn't get hard anymore.
Yep. Broken.
Ain't nothing worse than a soft dick. It's a frustrating feeling. He was, and so you got to think about who we are dealing with right here.
Mm-hmm.
It's John Holmes, the biggest dick in the universe. The guy was making, at his peak, $3,000+ a day, making porn films. Now, all of a sudden, the tool that he said, I'm a carpenter, this is my tape measure, whatever, he no longer had his only tool in his toolbox anymore.
Right.
So the only thing that was keeping him afloat at all, he no longer had. He just had a 13-inch piece of skin hanging from his waist. It was no longer a rod.
I mean, as big as that dick was, I feel like he could definitely smash with a floppy.
No way, man.
Dude, there's no way it's straight flop. It had to have some girth to it still. Like some solidity.
For sure, but when you pay that much money to hire John Holmes.
Well, I guess that's true. Yeah, you don't want to.
You want him coming in with a Godzilla.
Yeah, you want that bitch pointing at God and yelling at him.
Yeah. Let me in.
Look what you gave me.
Yeah, and I think it's sad for him, but fuck him, dude. He did some bad shit. And he really turned into a piece of shit. So right now in Ohio, we have fucking crackheads, or actually they're meth addicts. That's who broke into my house, was a meth addict. But we have meth addicts that they're cutting off catalytic converters, and not to get political, but with gas prices and inflation and all that shit, dude, I'm in all these Facebook groups, like, neighborhood watch shit. People are getting robbed left and right, having shit stolen. It's out of control, dude. People are getting their catalytic converters cut off their cars in broad daylight by these fucking pieces of shit.
They just don't give a fuck anymore.
And that's what John Holmes, that's what he was reduced to, man.
Stealing catalytic converters, man. It's scary.
At one point.
He might have.
Not quite, but pretty close. I'll tell you about some shit he was doing, man. He he was stealing from everyone. He had a fellow porn star named Gloria Leonard, and John, was talking to her like, hey, what are you doing later? I want to hook up with you guys. I want to hang out, trying to do some porn star networking. And she said, oh, we gotta run some errands till about noon, but then when we get home at noon, we can hang out. John said, all right, that's fine. She got home at noon, and her fucking house was gone. Everything in her house was gone.
Holy shit.
Everything of value. She said anything worth more than $3 was gone. It's because she told fucking John that she wasn't going to be home till noon, so he said, I got free reign of this bitch. And he stole everything. And that's what he was reduced to. He was a thief. He started stealing from his wife. She got some jewelry and stuff from an inheritance from her grandparents.
Oh, dude.
He stole all that, pawned it off. She said she was taking shit and hiding it in pockets in her drawers, and he was going through and finding everything. He was selling everything. He was pawning everything. Another way he started to make money, he would pimp himself out at gay nightclubs.
Oh, okay.
So John would go to these nightclubs, and he would party with these gay dudes, and these gay guys would give him the drugs that he wanted. And they were these gay dudes. They ate it up. They're like, it's fucking John Holmes, the king of pussy, is here at our place, and now he wants to suck some dick. He wants to get his dick sucked by one of us. And these guys were jumping at the opportunity and I'm trying to put myself in this situation. Dude, I've had some big turds, but John Holmes said his dick was 13 inches.
Oh, man, yeah, that's a big boy.
I've only shit out a couple 13-inchers.
Excruciating.
And let me tell you, they folded me up like a lawn chair. They hurt.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's like a porcupine coming out of your butthole.
Yeah. But imagine that thing going out and in and out and in.
Over and over.
Yeah.
I would not want to do that.
Imagine if it was like a dry dick, too. Just fucking ripping and tearing.
I like my dicks to hang out at the beach. I like them wet.
My dick's covered in shit.
John Holmes' dick had its own parking spot. Like, it just do whatever it wanted.
That thing was probably self-lubricating.
And these gay dudes at the club, they're like, fuck yeah, John Holmes, man. They'd pump him full of dope, and they'd take him wherever, and they'd fuck him, and just over and over. And he was pimping himself out every night, these gay nightclubs, even though he couldn't get a boner. So I don't know what was going on. But and he even, he started, his mistress, Dawn, he started pimping her out as well.
Oh, man.
And he would put her in the bath afterwards and wash her with scalding hot water.
Oof.
And this is Dawn kind of talking about her situation.
He ended up beating me so bad a bunch of times in order to get me out and turn tricks. He taught me what to do. He told me what to say. He told me what to be careful of. He told me how much. And then after I was done, I'd come back and give him the money, and he'd beat the crap out of me. Afterwards, I'd come back, and he'd put me in the bathtub and just scrub me with boiling hot water, just scalding water, and scrub me down.
So,
God, what a piece of shit.
John Holmes was a piece of shit. Don't get it twisted. He was a piece of shit. But Eddie Nash, he still had a soft spot for John Holmes, and he started selling cocaine to Johnny Holmes at a wholesale price, but he sold it to him on credit. So now John is getting bulk amount of cocaine to sell. And while he probably could flip it and start to crawl out of whatever hole he was in, he didn't sell any of the wholesale cocaine. He was using all of it. He didn't sell any of it. But John, he used it all up. And things kind of got really to rock bottom at this point. And Dawn was tired of being pimped out and the dope and all that shit. And she flew, I think she lived up near Oregon or Washington State.
Okay.
She flew home to her mother to get away from John.
Good for her.
Yeah, but she eventually, sadly, did come back. But she flew to get away, and John was calling her every night, begging her to come back, begging her, telling her things would be different. Typical rhetoric of an abusive shithead, and it's bad shit. You're laughing over there. What the
I'm laughing at the next fucking line, man.
This is what I was going to tell you about.
Jesus Christ.
This is worse than stealing catalytic converters.
Yes, this is awful.
John Holmes would go to the fucking baggage claim at the LAX airport, and he was stealing people's luggage off of the belt conveyors.
What a dick. That's so fucked up. That's literally like my worst fear, like going on plane is like my bag to be lost.
What if you shit your pants on the plane? You're just making a mad dash to get the baggage claim to change your drawers.
Yeah.
And someone stole your baggage, so you just have to stand there in your fucking poop pants.
And the airlines give you like a voucher for like $100, and it's like, fuck, dude, I can't buy everything in there for like $100.
I pooped my pants.
You gonna wipe my ass? Man.
If you've ever pooped your pants on an airplane, send us an email, brohiopodcast@gmail.com. Oh, man. That's lower than cutting off a catalytic
it really
converter.
is.
Now, one of these, he was in one of these airport parking lots, and he saw a computer. This is in 1981.
Damn, this thing must have been fucking huge.
Took up the whole entire fucking back seat. You got to hide that bitch. But he saw a computer in the back seat, and he broke into the car, and he stole the computer. But little did he know that watching him the entire time was the Los Angeles Police Department. And
Oops.
they took him into custody, took him to jail. But they released him. He never appeared for the charges. He had that hanging over his head for a long time, but he never appeared for the charges until much, much later. Once he was out of jail, Eddie Nash said, "You're stealing suitcases. You're fucking breaking into cars. You're using up all the coke, and I'm not seeing any money. You are cut off officially from the Eddie Nash gravy train." So he had to find a new supplier at this point. That led him to 8763 Wonderland Avenue and the owner of that home, Joy Miller. She was a rich woman that got addicted to heroin, and she used her home on Wonderland Avenue to house a gang of fucking degenerates and criminals, heroin addicts, and she had all these guys kind of do her dirty work for her. So she would let these guys stay in her house, give them heroin. In return, she would say jump, and these junkies would say how high, and they would commit whatever crimes that she wanted them to commit. There was a like a second or third floor balcony there at Wonderland Avenue, and there was a button, like a security key system to get in, where they had you have to put in the code.
Yeah.
And once you put in the code, the buzzer would go off, and they'd be like, "Who's there?" And you have to identify yourself. They kind of ran a tight ship for a bunch of junkies, and they would use, and that was the good thing about the balcony, is that's how they would do their drug transactions. So people would come up and be like, I need a fucking, a balloon of heroin or whatever, and they would throw their money up, and then they would drop the heroin down, and there was never really any interactions aside from that. So it was easy to kind of sniff out suspicious circumstances, and the balcony worked in their favor. So what the heroin addicts would do is they would don fake police hats and fake police badges, and they would break into known drug houses, like bust them up like a raid, and they'd say, "Police, we're taking all your fucking drugs," and they would steal all the heroin from these dope houses, and they would take the drugs back to Joy Miller, and then they would sell the drugs that they stole
Damn.
while impersonating police officers.
That's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
This ragtag gang of degenerates that were living in the house, you had 43-year-old Bill Devereaux. He was actually Joy Miller's boyfriend. He was a crane operator there in L.A. There was also 34-year-old motorcycle gang dude David Lynn, 36-year-old Rob Manius, 39-year-old Tracy Ray McCord. Now, John, coming out of jail from stealing this computer, he linked up with these guys. And as John Holmes, you're going into a group of dudes, and you're thinking, all right, I'm gonna be the hot shot. I'm gonna be able to do whatever I want. These guys are gonna love me. They're gonna think I'm a god. That was not the case. So he hooked up with all these heroin junkies, and they thought he was a fucking sideshow act. They thought
Sure.
They thought he was a joke. They would make fun of him. He was a novelty. They would degrade him. They would make him pull his dick out and show it. So they were pretty much me and the Brad kid.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, man, everyone come look at his dick.
Like, you're nothing but a dick with legs.
And they would make him, they'd be like, hey, John, man, pull your cock out. And they would make him pull his dick out. They'd be like, this is John Holmes. You know, they kind of make fun of him. But the Tracy Ray McCord was really awful to him.
Okay.
He was constantly on his shit, constantly making John do dumb shit, put his dick in light sockets or whatever. I don't know what the fuck they were doing to him, but so he was running, doing crimes with these heroin junkies. But in 1981, someone extended their hand. He was given another chance in porn. His former girlfriend, Julia St. Vincent, she was a producer in porn. Her porn company was going belly up.
Oh, no.
And she needed to make a big move to save her company. And she said, I got an idea. John Holmes, he's been out of it because at this point, he'd been blacklisted from porn. He wasn't allowed to make porn at all because his dick didn't work anymore. He couldn't get his dick hard. So here is his old girlfriend, Julia St. Vincent, talking about her extending one last olive branch to John Holmes.
He was very difficult. We set a shoot up with about 25 crew members. He comes in late. He's a complete mess. We put him into makeup. He's franting and, flipping out about everything that we wanted.
He was totally incapable of working. But the producer had spent about $3,000 to secure this location. He was by the phone the whole time, waiting for a call. When the call came, he says, I have to leave just for 15 minutes. I'll be back in 15 minutes. I've just got to go to a place nearby. It's on Wonderland.
Oh, shit.
And that's what he would dip out, man. He would leave all these people leave them hanging. They're trying to make this movie. And the reason he was dipping out is because they were getting their dope delivery, and he would shoot out to go get fucked up. But all of his loved ones and people close to him said he wasn't using heroin, that he was too afraid of needles. So I don't know if he was using heroin or not. But it seems like it at this point with how he was acting. He was blacklisted from porn. Like I said, he was freebasing cocaine with the Wonderland crew. Okay, yeah, they were freebasing coke, not heroin, but he's at the Wonderland property, and he has this awesome idea as they're sitting there freebasing cocaine. He told them that he knew a guy with a lot of money and a lot of drugs, and they could probably pull off a good robbery. And the person he was talking about was Eddie Nash. But you'll have to remember, Eddie Nash, Greg Dials, those were some alligator crocodile mean motherfuckers. They were not to be fucked with.
Bad idea.
So John, against his better judgment, he went on June 28th. He went over to see, this is June 28th, 1981. He went to Eddie Nash's house to score some freebase. But while he was up there Eddie Nash was like, man, I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're doing better. Come inside. Let's get fucked up together. So they did some dope together. But John left the sliding door ajar.
Okay.
So the ragtag group from Wonderland could come back later on and not really break in, but just slide in and hold
Scoop it
these.
up.
Yeah. And it was going to be a robbery. They were going to hold these guys at gunpoint. So that's what John did. He left the sliding door open, and then he left. He returned home to Wonderland Avenue at 5 a.m., but when he got back to Wonderland Avenue, everybody in the house was so fucked up from freebasing cocaine that nobody could move. So
Damn.
they had to wait another 3 hours before everybody was awake and alert enough to go back to Eddie Nash's house. So at a little after 8 a.m. that morning, they went back to Eddie Nash's house, where they went through the sliding door. The sliding door. They used fake San Francisco police badges to raid the house, and they tied up Eddie Nash and they tied up his bodyguard Greg Dials, and they said, "Show us where the drugs and money are, or you're gonna fucking die." Eddie Nash had a lot of different stashes throughout the house. What he gave them during that robbery was a drop in the ocean compared to what he actually had in the house.
Yeah.
So he took him to a safe, and in the safe he had $100 in cash and jewelry. He had $100 in cocaine as well. The robbery only took about 20 minutes, and the entire time Eddie Nash and Greg Dials were both tied up.
And that was $100K of each of those. You said $100.
Yeah, sorry, the $100,000, $100,000 worth of cocaine, and then $100,000 worth of cash and jewelry. So $100,000 worth of coke. That's a lot of coke.
Still a lot of coke.
And we went back to the house to divvy it up, and John Holmes thought that he should have gotten way more cocaine than what was actually given to him. He thought that he did all the legwork for this operation.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I deserve to be compensated. But they only gave him a little bit, and they said, "Get the fuck out of here." But you know who was back in town at this point was his mistress, Dawn.
Okay.
He went straight to Dawn, where she was staying at. And while they only gave him a small part of the cocaine they acquired in the robbery, it was still a lot of fucking coke.
Yeah.
And Dawn said in the interview, she said that was more cocaine than I'd ever seen in my life. And they just spent the next however many hours just getting fucked up on this cocaine. Eddie Nash and his bodyguard put two and two together pretty quickly, and they knew that John Holmes had been there that night and that he was probably involved. And much like I said before, this was not about what was taken. This all boiled down to a respect thing. They were disrespected. Someone thought that they were punk-ass bitches and they could pull this off on them, and they did. And Greg Dials and Eddie Nash said, "No one does this to us." And these were some cutthroat cartel dudes. And they were not having any shit, man. And they put two and two together, and they knew that John had a hand in the robbery. So Eddie Nash sent Greg Dials out to go pick up John Holmes and bring him back to the house. And guess who was at the house the entire time all this was going on? It was Liberace's boyfriend. He was trying to get thin, but he was always at the house. And he talks about what it was like when John Holmes was brought back to the house by Greg Dials.
Dragged in.
The next thing I know is that Dials had barged in the front door with Holmes by the back of the neck, marched him right into Nash's bedroom, and then that's when I was asked to leave. And so I went into the living room, and I could actually hear him. I mean, Nash had a violent temper. He was screaming. He was threatening to kill John. He was threatening to kill every member of his family. Dials was beating the hell out of him. He was slamming his body. You know, you could hear the furniture. You could actually hear him slamming him up against the walls.
An hour later, Holmes was led out of the bedroom.
Dials had him by the back of the neck, escorting him out. And Dials had a big, I don't know if it was a bat or a pipe in his hand.
Ooh.
He had a threaded pipe in his hand.
Ooh,
That's what
fuck.
he had. And you know where they were going? They were going straight back
Right to
to Wonderland Avenue
Yep.
to talk to the people that robbed them.
Oof.
And they were not going to be doing any talking. They drove Liberace's boyfriend's car to Wonderland Avenue, and when they, and you'll recall, there was like a keypad and a microphone system.
Yeah.
John Holmes hits the keypad, and they're like, "Who is it?" And John's like, "Hey, it's me." So they let John in. No problem there. John's always coming and going and shit. But John had Eddie Nash and Greg Dials with him. And they entered the home. The one closest to the door was Barbara Richardson, and you haven't heard Barbara Richardson yet, because she was just an innocent bystander. She was just a girlfriend that was kind of coming and going. She was hanging out with David Lynn, and David Lynn was one of the junkies that lived at Wonderland Avenue. She wasn't involved in any of the crimes. She had no involvement, but unfortunately, she was the first body they encountered when they walked into Wonderland Avenue, and they beat Barbara to death with this threaded pipe.
Damn.
And when the crime scene photos of this place still hold up to this day, bro. They're bad. They are bad. It looks like someone took a Wagner power sprayer, filled it full of blood, and went in like a Ghostbusters proton pack full of blood.
Damn.
And just started shooting blood all over the walls and the ceiling. And the coroners said, we knew they got killed with lead. We knew they got killed with threaded pipes because the threads were embedded all over their bodies.
Holy shit!
Just to where they could see they got beat with a pipe with threads. And they killed Barbara Richardson. They beat her to death with the threaded pipes. Then they went into Joy Miller's, which you'll remember. Joy Miller was kind of like, she was the head of the operation. She was in bed with her boyfriend, Billy Devereaux, and they killed both of them with the threaded pipes as well. They used hammers, too.
Oh, fuck.
Hammers and threaded pipes. And in the next room, Ron Lanius and his wife, Susan, were there. Susan was in town. She was kind of in and on again. And Ron Lanius was another junkie that was living at the property. But his wife was in town. She was trying to they were trying to reconcile their differences. So she was another one, wrong place, wrong time.
For sure.
But they killed Ron, and they beat his wife, Susan, within an inch of her life. There was fucking blood everywhere. The neighbors would report they heard screams all night long. I think the beatings and the murders lasted for over an hour.
Ugh.
And the neighbors said they could, like, yeah, we heard people like, oh, they said, we didn't call the police because we hear that shit all the time over there.
Nothing out of the ordinary.
I don't ever want to live in a place where I hear somebody screaming for their life.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, they're at it again. And
there they go.
Someone's getting their brains beat in with a hammer.
Is it 12 o'clock already?
God, I'm tired. I've been so tired before that if I heard somebody getting killed, I'd probably be like, no, it's not for me. Does not.
I mind my own business.
That's not for me at all. Oh, yeah, so the beatings did last for over an hour, and once they thought everybody was dead, they left. And at 5 a.m., Eddie Nash and Greg Dials returned to Eddie Nash's house. They also had John Holmes with them. John thought he was going to die at this point. They still had they let John Holmes. They made him go through allegedly. They made him go through the house and watch everybody get murdered. And then they brought him back to Eddie Nash's house, but they let John Holmes go. And then when they let John Holmes go, he went to the only safe place he knew, which was his wife, Sharon's apartment. And this is what his wife has to say about that day that Johnny Holmes showed up after the murders.
He was bloody. Face, a lot of blood on the clothes, that kind of thing. And I asked him what happened, and he said, I had an accident.
shit my
and I
pants.
said, well, how did you get here? And he said, well, the car's okay. And he said, I'd like to clean up and I need to, change my clothes.
Sharon ran John a bath and sat in the bathroom talking to him.
I said, this isn't a car accident. What happened? And he said, well, I have to tell you, I saw 4 people murdered. Then it starts spilling out, like, okay, it's confession time and you've got to get it all out because, it hurts too much to have it there.
As the
Man, it's rough.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, it is.
Now the bodies at the bodies of the Wonderland property, they weren't discovered until the next evening. So they were killed pretty much in the middle of the night, 3, 4, 5 a.m. And they weren't discovered until like 6 p.m. the next night. That's because Susan, the wife who was in town to reconcile with her husband, she actually didn't die. She was beat within an inch of her life. She was still alive, and there was a mover next door, and he could hear her moaning as like her fucking life was leaving her body. He could hear her moaning, and he called the police. The police did respond to the scene. So it was about 12 hours. She laid there for about 12 hours.
It's crazy.
Clinging to life. And the police found out that, this was a dope house. And people were coming and going all the time, doing their thing. Is it fucked up again?
No, we're good.
People were coming and going and doing their thing. So these people were beat to death with lead pipes and hammers. Blood, guts. For that entire 12 hours they laid there dead, these junkies and dope heads were going in and out of the house, stealing shit, stealing drugs, stealing cash, just leaving them lay there dead on the floor. And nobody ever called the police. It took the mover hearing the moans of the one survivor before the police were notified. And like I said, it was 12 hours after the original crime was committed before the police were called to investigate. Now, at this point, John Holmes was headed across town to Hollywood, where his girlfriend, his mistress, Dawn, was in, I think it's Hollywood Hotel. She was in the hotel over there. And this is Dawn talking about John coming to the hotel that day.
And he looked terrible. It was daylight when he came back. His eyes were bloodshot. His face was just pale, and his demeanor was very dejected.
You think when he sat in the bath, his dick floated like a life, like a canoe, or you think it just sunk to the bottom?
Nah, it definitely floated. Yeah, like a fucking hollow log.
It was buoyant.
Yeah, it's definitely very buoyant. Yeah.
Now, the next morning on July 2nd, David Lynn, who was actually one of the junkies we first talked about, he wasn't at the house at the time of the murders. I think he was appearing in court or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
But he revealed to the narcotics officer, the detectives, he said, okay, all these people were murdered. I probably have a good idea where this came from, because the day before all these people were murdered, all of us went and robbed Eddie Nash. And the only person that can't be found that was involved at this point is John Holmes. So that put John Holmes on the radar for the police, and they knew right where he was staying at. And they raided the hotel where John was staying with Dawn, and they took John into custody, and they kicked Dawn pretty much immediately at this point. John is incarcerated at this point, John Holmes, for the murders at the Wonderland Avenue. He was getting threatened in jail. He was having a really hard time just being John Holmes and being in jail. And he made his mistress, Dawn, he made her aware of the hard time that he was having in jail. And he made his wife aware of the time that he was having in jail as well. But also, he made them aware of one another. So he told his wife, he said, there, I have a mistress. I have a girlfriend. I've been with her for a long time. And he told his mistress, he said, I have a wife. I still very much belong to her. But I want you to know about one another. But then John had a good idea. He's like, I'm not going to go down for these murders. I'm going to roll over on Eddie Nash.
Ooh.
I'm going to tell the feds, the police, everything I know about this criminal enterprise that Eddie Nash is running. But John Holmes said, if I do this, I want witness protection program.
Sure.
And you and I covered the witness protection program, bro. Once they pick you up, you're gone. It's not like oh, I'm John Holmes. I'm gonna keep on being John Holmes. Once you enter WITSEC, you are gone from the universe. You are no longer John Holmes. You disappear. They hide you under a fucking mountain somewhere.
They will cut half of your dick off just so it doesn't look the same.
And he could afford that. He could afford to give me 7 inches.
Yeah, exactly.
Off that dick.
Yeah, man.
And he decided to stay in jail, and he was going to join the witness protection program. But he told the police, before I give you everything you want, I want to meet with my wife, and I want to meet with my mistress. And somehow, for as cunning as he was, and that's what the district attorney said. He said the fucking correctional officers were obsessed with me. Like, oh my God, John Holmes is in the jail. They're getting his autograph and shit. He could do whatever he wanted. But he was so cunning, he talked the police into allowing himself to go to a hotel. They let John Holmes go to a hotel.
Wow.
And they stood outside the hotel room on guard. But they let his wife and his mistress go to the hotel room with him. So all 3 of them were in the hotel room. And in an interview, his wife says, yeah, I met the mistress. We all slept in bed together. So this motherfucker pulled off a threesome with his mistress and his wife.
Whew.
And he did it with the police standing on guard at the door.
Man.
And every time the police are like, John, we need to talk about the case. John would open the door and be like, look, I just need like 3 or 4 more hours. Give me a break. They're like, all right, 3 or 4 more hours. He strung these guys out for 2 or 3 days, kept on putting them off. And then finally the police are like, look, shit or get off the pot. You got to tell us the information we want about Eddie Nash. Just like the deal, we're making the deal. And John Holmes is like, I can't do that. I can't do that. But he was playing hardball, man. The police didn't have enough on John Holmes. They kicked him free. So when they closed up the hotel and ran his 2 fucking women out of there, they also let him go. They let him free, and they gave him a warning. They said, we're going to be on your fucking shit until all this is figured out. But John, he had a master plan to get more money from Eddie. He went to Eddie Nash and said, look, there's a guy that's going to kill me, and he's going to release a bunch of letters that tells everybody everything that you're doing, unless you give him $3,000. But I will take him the money. And Eddie Nash wasn't really biting too much on the bait.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I'll give you the money. Go to my mailbox. I'll put the money out for you. So John Holmes went back to Don and said, look, I'm going to get the money, and we're going to get the fuck out of here. He went to the mailbox. There was only $1,500 in the mailbox, not $3,000. But they used that $1,500, and he and Don, they said, we're getting the fuck out of here. They got on they hit the road at that point. They drove to Montana to see John's sister. But in October of 1981, they finally connected John to the crime scene because they found a bloody palm print on the wall that matched up with John. And one of the junkies on the scene talked about how there were witnesses that were coming forward that were saying, yeah, these guys were fucking awful to John. They were always making him pull his dick out and show it to people. They make him pull his dick out like a beaver tail and just flop it around. So then the police were like, all right, they were always being mean to this guy, making him pull his, and that was what they thought the motive was for John to kill all these guys. They thought that John pulled off all the murders. And they said, he's probably really upset. They make him pull his dick out all the time. But with a 13-inch sausage on a...
That might make you snap. You never know.
You never know, man. And they went on the run. They were running from the FBI, and there were actually murder charges filed against John Holmes. Well, they wanted to file murder charges, but they didn't have quite enough, so they used the other ace in the hole. You remember that computer that he stole?
Oh yeah.
He never appealed, and he never appeared in court for it.
Right.
So they issued a warrant for the theft of the computer, and they used that to pursue him. They were going to take their $1,500 wouldn't have went far, but they went sightseeing all the way down to Florida. They went to the Grand Canyon, the Petrified Forest, and when the money ran out, John resorted to breaking into cars at truck stops and stealing shit again, getting off at exit ramps on the highway and just breaking into cars anywhere he could find. So they did arrive in Miami, but once they arrived in Miami, they were both kind of clean because they were Dawn and John, because they hadn't had any money to get high. So for the first 2 or 3 weeks in Miami, John got a job working as a carpenter. He was doing good, but then Dawn said, after 2 or 3 weeks, I could tell that he was starting to use again because he was all fucked up, and he would stare out the window, and she'd be like, what are you doing, John? He'd be like, you know what? I bet you if a chick walked up and down that beach, she could flip some tricks. And she's like, no, I'm not hooking again. I'm not doing that.
It's not about that life anymore.
And then he proceeded to beat the shit out of her and told her, like, you'll do whatever the fuck I want you to do. And he started pimping her out again and giving her the hot boiling baths to wash her off. And if she refused, he would beat her, which, fuck him, dude,
Yeah.
And at one point, she got beat so badly that she ran out of their hotel room. They were like a transitional hotel there, but she ran through the courtyard, and she got caught by John by the hair. He beat the shit out of her right there in the courtyard. Everybody saw it happen. Nobody said a word or did anything or called the police. And she said, enough is enough. And she left John and moved in with a stripper friend that she found in Miami.
Oh yeah.
But that was the last time that she ever talked to John. She never really dealt with him ever again after that. She left him.
Good.
But then when she left him, she called the police and said, I know where John Holmes is at.
Oh.
Because I think at this point they had solidified the murder charges. So they were looking for him. They were looking for him, dude. So she called the police and said, I know where John Holmes is at. She dimed him out. The police raided his apartment or his little hotel room there and sent his ass back to Los Angeles. And he would not bear witness against Eddie Nash. Snitches get stitches. John Holmes was keeping his fucking lips sealed. So they had John Holmes in jail awaiting the murder. The murder. He was going to trial for murder. They also arrested Greg Dials at the time, but they said there wasn't enough evidence to link Greg Dials to the crime scene. He was arrested and released and not charged. So John Holmes was placed in protective custody. And in one of these interviews, they talked to the jailhouse psychologist. And you can tell that the moment this old bitch saw John Holmes in prison, her fucking oyster got so moist.
Yikes.
I'm surprised her panties were able to stay up.
It just rotted out from being so wet.
Sometimes your panties get so wet, they just slide down your legs.
I've been there before.
And that's what happens to her. Listen to her talk about John Holmes being on the block.
Hell yeah.
Celebrity.
I was excited. I had seen his movies in years past.
Wonderland was John's jailhouse psychologist.
And I'm kind of ashamed to admit that I should be excited to see this porn star. But he was a celebrity, and it was kind of a fun idea.
Various deputy sheriffs were
She had a big-ass smile.
going to John Holmes, getting his autograph. Oh my God, this was a murderer. You should be treated as a murderer. So I was upset at that.
Holmes became a prison trustee, but moving around the jail delivering magazines was sometimes dangerous.
One time somebody tried to stick a pencil in his eye,
Fuck.
and another time they went after him with a shank, a little weapon knife they had made. And so they moved John to a single cell.
About got your ass gotten right there.
Damn.
Up in the chow hall. Catch a fucking bed spring in the rib cage. Going down. What you do is you take a razor blade out of the Bic, you melt your toothbrush handle down, and then you push the Bic razor blade into the melted toothbrush handle. Let that dry up, and you got a fucking nasty-ass gashing tool. Take that toothbrush handle with a razor blade melted into it.
Yeah. Yeah, we used to have to check all the razors after they were done shaving to make sure the blades were still in.
Cut them up!
Yep.
Slice.
And if it wasn't, their fucking shit would get searched,
Slash,
destroyed.
gash. Play tennis with your balls. Oh, Heath and John thought that all these like attempts of assassination on his life, where these were all being called in by none other than Eddie Nash, but you know, no one was able to confirm that. June 3rd, 1982, the trial finally started for John Holmes. This is similar to the OJ trial in L.A. This is, you know, sensationalized by the media. This is a big deal. You know, you have this porn megastar that had been reduced, his porn empire had been reduced to ashes. He's a fucking crackhead now. And that's why people don't freebase anymore. That's where crack cocaine came from.
Ah, okay.
So you can, you shouldn't, but you can safely smoke crack without blowing your face off.
Okay, well.
That's kind of where, that was the gradual steps from freebasing cocaine. But yeah, this trial was all over the news. And this was the first trial in history where the video footage from the crime scene was allowed to be submitted as evidence too. And that crime scene was fucked up, dude.
Damn.
There was blood, guts, brains, shit, livers, spleens, buttholes, dicks, toenails, fingernails, hair nails, noses, dick tits, nuts, fucking ball cleavers. There was shit, leg hairs, buttholes, vaginas, clitorises, labias, nipples, everywhere.
It's a lot of shit, man. A lot of body parts.
Rectums, recticles, knuckles.
Fuckles.
Fuckholes. There was a small, someone got the smaller back beat off.
Onto?
No. Throats, toes, nose, ears, everywhere, dude. Just fucking body parts.
Oh, man.
And a chandelier made of fingers.
That's...
I made that one up.
That sounds like it could be, something.
I don't want to be wrong about this.
Sure.
And one of the funnier things I found here, they're interviewing so it was a writer for Playboy, and he was tasked with covering the case.
Naturally.
And this is the writer from. You can tell he didn't have a very strong stomach.
There was blood all over. I remember I threw up twice. Particularly gruesome. It was not just the murder of these people, but it was a murder that the perpetrators enjoyed doing.
On June.
What a pussy.
He said, I
threw up twice.
I usually throw up when I eat at Golden Corral. Get some of that bread pudding, you know.
Bro, that fucking that banana pudding fucks there. It's so fucking good.
So the main witness from the case, you would think, was the survivor, Susan. She got her brains beat in.
Excuse me.
She's like, she's the one the movers heard crying, and they said, all right, let's see what's going on over here. And they found her. She lived through it, so she was going to be the state's star witness, but fucking, she was sleeping when she started getting beat with a pipe. She didn't remember anything.
Right.
She couldn't identify the killers, not shit. So that kind of blew at the smithereens for the prosecutors. June 25th, 1982, John Holmes was found not guilty, not guilty, in the Wonderland murders.
Huh.
So after the trial, he returned to porn.
Yay.
The king is back. One actress was quoted as saying, "I can't wait to have John Holmes up my ass."
Ditto, sister.
So the actors and actresses, including Ron Jeremy, they noticed that John was always carrying a gun. After the trial, they thought that Eddie Nash was going to have a hit put out on John Holmes. But in 1984, just 2 short years after the murder trial ended, John switched to a different gear. He started doing gay pornography. Where they're fucking each other in the butt. Feels good. There's a fleshy nugget in your butt. And that's the climax spot. That's where you come.
It's right where your little milk dud is.
You got to work, when you're jerking off, you got to work really hard for it. But
Yeah.
there's a magic button inside your butt. You reach in there, you push it.
Your little butt nugget.
Instant cum.
Yep.
If you
Cum
push it,
buckets.
it's like a power button on a calculator. Just turns on. You push it, juice comes out of your dick.
Instant juicing.
Orange juice.
Ooh.
McDonald's orange juice comes
Man.
out of your dick.
Delightful.
Yeah.
Don't take our words for it. Try it yourself.
Try it yourself.
Let us know the results.
If you've ever had McDonald's orange juice, send us an email, brohiopodcast@gmail.com. Well, unfortunate circumstances here. John, while he's doing all this fucking gay porn at the time, the 80s, that's a hot time for AIDS. After he did his first gay porn, one of the actors from the film that he was in died from complications from AIDS not long after the movie.
Oops.
So it's no wonder that in 1986, John Holmes was diagnosed with HIV as well. This motherfucker found out that he was diagnosed with HIV, and he kept on doing porn. He actually flew to Italy to work with an Italian porn star, their megastar. Her name was like Titalina or some shit like that. I don't tit monkey. I don't know what her name was, but she was their biggest porn star, and he went over there and worked with her, all the while knowing that he was HIV positive.
Oof, that's rough, man.
Fortunately, I don't think she contracted
the monkey
on her back.
Didn't get the monkey on her back. Man.
But at this point, he just started to fucking die. The AIDS
got him.
He got it from butt sex, so it's called GAIDS. It's not AIDS. And they thought that maybe he got it from heroin, but they said he was afraid of needles, so he started doing gay porn. And, at the time, there was the HIV and AIDS. It was a big thing in the United States and all around the world. Freddie Mercury took him out. Big old fucking teeth, took him out. Good singer.
Sure.
Voice of a god. Big sausage on him, too. You can see, go back and look at
you could tell
the imprint in his jeans.
Yeah.
Big fucking dick on him.
Almost as big as his teeth.
Not bigger than AIDS, though.
No.
No dick is bigger than AIDS.
Very true.
Got his ass, man.
I'd say there's a correlation with the bigger the dick, the more likely you're going to get it.
And I said this, ladies, I want to talk to you for a second. That's a good way I talked about this, man. That's a good way to know how big a guy's dick is.
If they have AIDS?
If he has AIDS, he's got a big dick.
Yeah, because there's definitely more square inch of penis covering more square inch of rectum.
No, if you hear him go to the bathroom and it sounds like he's dropping buckets of water out of his dick, it means he's got a big old dick. The louder the stream, the bigger the dick. Because look, dude, it's perfect. They say, what do you say about guys with big feet? Big dicks. No. The bigger the dick, the bigger the pee hole.
Sure, yeah. Mine sounds like bacon frying.
Mine sounds like a mouse pissing on cotton. You can't even hear me pee. I can pee like a ninja and not even try.
Yeah, if I'm in public, I do the porcelain technique where I just piss on the side of the porcelain so it doesn't hit the water.
I like to climb up on the stall I like to climb up into the exhaust fan and hook my belt hook my belt to the exhaust fan. I like to piss from up above the. I like to piss from up there, so it sounds like I got a big dick.
I like to get up on the stall walls and just plank across them, and just aim my dick down from above and let it rain down like hail.
I like to climb up into the HVAC system, piss from up there. Sounds like I got a huge dick, man.
Oh shit.
Man, I fucking hate shit in public bathrooms.
Oh, dude, it's the worst.
So, he kept working, giving everybody AIDS. He just kept on, he's getting sicker and sicker. That's kind of the way that AIDS works, though. Police thought with his health decline, it would incline him to say what he knew happened at Wonderland. Well, it didn't. He took the secret of Wonderland to his grave. In March 1988, John Holmes died from complications from AIDS. Eddie Nash was brought to trial for the murders at Wonderland, and he was found not guilty because there was one juror that was holding out. Come to find out that he paid the juror $50,000.
Wow!
And the juror took it. The juror took the bribe. So in June of 1999, Nash was indicted on a slew of other RICO charges. So when he was finally indicted in 1999 on the RICO shit, like RICO, you go away forever. You just go away. You know, the racketeering, all the shit that he'd done, and he was even found guilty of bribing the juror from the other trial. Man.
Did the juror face any charges? Do you know?
I don't know.
Okay,
I'm
curious.
I have to look. But he only got 4.5 years for the RICO shit.
Damn.
And they gave him time served too, so he wasn't hardly in jail.
Oh shit.
I think he had to pay $250,000 too, which he was like.
Which I'm sure it's pocket change.
Shit it out. And then one of his mistresses, one of his girlfriends, Eddie Nash's girlfriends, went on record and said, Eddie Nash was an awful man. John Holmes told me he used to leave the bathrooms without toilet paper and then offer young women cocaine if they'd lick his ass clean.
Oh my fucking God.
So he would shit.
That was poopy butt.
And then walk out with a sticky bun. He'd walk out with a sticky goo butt.
Just some chocolate fudge on his top of his donut.
Yeah, he'd say, hey, one of you girls want to lick me clean for a little line of Coke? And they'd have to fucking eat his butt out.
Oh my God, that's so fucking raunchy. That's fucking trifling as fuck.
I want one of you chicken heads. Lick the poop out of my butt.
Oh shit!
I would not do that for cocaine.
No, man.
If he come out of the bathroom like, I want one of you boys. Listen, I got 20 spicy nuggets from Wendy's. I was trying to get somebody to lick my butt clean. I'm like, I'll clean your butt like a cat. I'll clean your, Mr. Nash, I'll clean your entire body clean if that's what you like, sir. For 20
nuggies,
20 spicy nuggies.
Yeah, man. If I'll fuck up some nuggies, dog.
I'm not doing it for regular nuggets.
Nah, no. It's got to be spicy ones. Man, I will fuck up some spicy nuggies. Whew. Give me a dirty butthole to eat right now, and I'll give me some spicy nuggies.
The most devious part of this plot. He would hide the toilet paper. So he wasn't the only person suffering with a poop butt.
He could just not wipe his ass. He'd have to hide it for the next fucker.
If I can't have a clean butt, nobody gets a clean butt.
I'd just be like, where'd the toilet paper go?
I'd drag my ass across the floor like a dog with worms. They'd be, all right, give this fat bastard some toilet paper.
I think I'd just give myself a bird bath in the sink.
You know, during COVID, I wiped my butt with a lot of different stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Because we couldn't get toilet paper anywhere.
Right.
Oven mitt, that was probably my go-to.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Shake it out and reuse it.
Yeah, there was numerous times where I would be in a public bathroom. I'd have to waddle out to the sink and get me some of them fucking hard-ass brown toilet paper hand dryers, and I'd put some water and some, like, fucking foam soap on it, scrub my asshole with it.
Old gooch rippers.
Yeah,
that's what we call those.
Dude, fuck my asshole up bad. I have to get like 2 of them and get them real wet and put a bunch of soap on them and get 2 more that were dry.
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, man.
What a life.
I know. I'll tell you what, though.
Brutal.
That stuff did not break in my butthole. It stayed nice and taut.
It's hard to break your butthole, Rob.
Oh, I know, man.
Wow. Now, 2 hours and 2.5 hours.
Hell yeah.
I did not know that this one was going to last that long.
It's a good time, man.
John Holmes is dead.
This lasted about as long as it takes to look from the tip of his dick all the way to the base.
He'd just be finishing right now.
Yeah.
I'm already fucking done and been in bed for 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah, man, I'm running on like 4 hours of sleep, so I'm ready to go to bed.
Yeah. All right, guys, I hope you liked this episode. We'll catch you with the next one. Send us your Battlefield of Love questions. We're going to get one
Please.
soon.
Yeah, we need to do one.
Battlefield of Love.
Yeah.
You can go to brohiopodcast.com/love. We have an anonymous submission link, or you can send them directly to us.
Ask us any relationship advice questions. Tell us about some time when, things got a little dirty with you and your significant other.
Yeah, that one time.
Just give us some good stories, some good questions. Let us have a good time and hopefully give you guys some good advice.
Fuck up our inbox.
Yeah, please.
All right. Thanks,
Love you
guys.
Oh, God, YouTube. Fuck.
Oh, are there people still on YouTube?
Oh, no, not really.
All right.
Said anyone ever eaten shit? Nobody said anything. So I'm guessing that's a no.
What a bunch of fucking lames.
Nobody said anything. So I'm like, anybody ever eaten shit?
Oh, man. Yes.
There we go.
Ryan's like, yeah, man, I got that shit on lock. All right. Well, I got to go to, I got to hop off here. I got court in the morning.
Oh, do you?
He's getting sentenced.
Oh, I mean, it got pushed back, didn't it?
Yep.
Well, good fucking luck, man. Let me know how that goes tomorrow.
I will let you know.
We'll fucking get that motherfucker to fry.
I don't think that's an option, but
it's not, but fuck.
hopefully he has to answer for his deeds.
For sure, definitely.
All right, guys.
All right, guys.
Take care.
Bye.